Now, I know what you're thinking. What have the Romans ever done for us? Well, this is a great place to start, the Colosseum. A few years ago, this was the beating heart of Rome's sporting entertainment, and today, the gladiatorial battles continue. The thrills, the excitement, the spectacle are all turned up to Maximus, as they used to say in these parts, as Formula E takes to the city streets of Rome.
Rome, Italy. The eternal city prepares for battle. Memories of past glories echo through the streets.
Well done, Sam. Come on!
A place where reputations are forged and champions crowned. Our all-electric gladiators are ready for a street fight.
Contact.
This season, 6 different drivers have tasted victory. Will a 7th hero emerge? This is Formula E.
Flat out, flat out.
Let battle commence.
Is there a more stunning location in motorsport? We're in the beautiful yet fiendishly named Circuito Cittadino dell'Ur, in the beating heart of the Eternal City. We've reached the halfway stage of the season, and so far we've had 6 races which have seen 6 different winners from 6 different teams. And like a Roman emperor's thumb, who knows which way today is gonna go. One thing's for sure though, Formula E definitely isn't predictable.
And it's victory for Da Costa and BMW. Jerome D'Ambrosio wins for Mahindra. Sam gonna take victory in Santiago.
Yes, yes!
De Grassi wins. Jean-Eric Verne takes the victory in Sanya.
Yes, yes!
I think it's a mix of unpredictability and bad luck, mistakes.
What are you doing? They hit each other. Da Costa's in the wall and the lead is gone.
We're now in season 5 of Formula E. Everyone has more experience, more knowledge of what this is, and therefore everyone's just very, very close together.
Qualifying format, so the top 5 in the championship always go in Group 1. That makes it very tricky. Plus, it's just one of those seasons. It's hard to predict a pattern, but that's what makes Formula E so exciting.
Yes, guys!
It's mainly because of the qualifying format. The fact that the leaders of the championship are always in Group 1, and like Group 1 is always kind of the worst because the track is dirty. So you always have, mixed up qualifyings, always different rankings.
The Frenchman on top of the podium in China.
There's no driver that's coming in with sponsors and buy his seat in it. I think most of the team, if not every team, is really taking on board drivers that they believe will be the best purely and mostly on his performance as a race driver in the car.
Jerome D'Ambrosio wins for Mahindra.
I think it's very difficult to predict who's going to win, the next race weekends. It's probably the most unpredictable racing championship around the world at the moment. And I think that this is a little bit, what the fans want. Comparing with other racing series where, you have always pretty much the same ones winning. Here, it's very much open, to all the drivers, and that's, I think, a very positive thing.
The teams are getting more structured and better, and because the efficiency of these motors are ranging between 95 and 97%, so everybody has a very competitive powertrain.
Push, 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 yes, yes!
De Grassi wins!
What a race! Oh man, I never had so much adrenaline.
What we've seen so far and what we know, what we've learned in the first half of the season is that nothing is predictable in this championship, and we have to keep it like that.
And there are those 6 winners in the top 6 spots in the table. BMW's Antonio Felix da Costa, the only man with 3 podiums this season, now leads the way by just a single point. Down in 10th, we find our top rookie, Mahindra's Pascal Wehrlein. And there are some big names further down the table, but at least newcomers Felipe Massa and Stoffel van Dorn have now got some points on the board. What a relief. It's all to play for. It's so tight. The competition is like nothing else in motorsport. So Dario, it's a joy as always to have you here on the grid. The grid is getting really, really busy because all the VIPs have arrived. The cars are on the track as we speak. We're halfway through the season. It's race 7. We've had 6 races. We've got 6 different winners from 6 different teams. Let's grade the season so far. And what we should start off with is the car, the Gen 2 car. There was a lot of chat about it at the beginning of the season. Well, there was a lot of chat about it at the end of last season because everyone was so excited about this new car. What has it brought to Formula E, and has it done what was expected of it?
Absolutely. The Generation 2 car, to me, it's got to get an A. It has raced so well. You know, it's now one car for the whole race. Up until that, with the Generation 1 car, we had to do car changes. The battery technology wasn't there. It's got more power. It's got double the energy, at least. And, yeah, it's faster. It looks cool. A grade, no doubt.
Thank you very much. We like that. We like an A. Let's move on to attack mode. Because attack mode, when it was announced, everyone's kind of like, that's a bit of a novelty in motor racing. Is it going to work? Will people think it's a fad? You know, there was a reference to Mario Kart. But let's talk about attack mode, because as a whole, it's had a huge influence on the racing so far.
It's definitely had a huge influence. People in racing are traditionalists, mostly. They don't like new ideas. I'd give it a B. I think it has improved the racing, absolutely. It's improved the spectacle. We've seen things like Lucas de Grassi missing the attack mode activation zone twice in China. I think a B, though. I would move some of the attack mode activation zones next season now that we've got a bit of experience with it, but it's been a success.
And let's talk about the drivers quickly. We've obviously got the old guard, you know, the veterans of Formula E, but we've got a handful of new drivers as well. Oliver Rowland, Alexander Sims, Stoffel Van Dorme have all come in and made an impact.
Pascal Wehrlein.
Yeah, Pascal Wehrlein as well.
I give the rookies A's. I mean, I really would, especially the top guys who've discussed it. They've done such a good job. It's been fantastic to see how they've taken to the championship, and they've put a lot of the older guys, a lot of the veterans on their toes a bit, looking over their shoulders.
All right, well, there's one guy that is missing on the grid, and that's Nelson Piquet Jr. So we sent Nicky Shields to speak to James Barclay, the head of Jaguar Motor Racing, to find out what went on.
Well, I'm here with team principal James Barclay. Of course, your driver, Nelson Piquet Jr., is no longer racing for the team, and you've substituted in Alex Lynn. Can you just explain to us the decision behind that?
Yeah, as you can imagine, something which is incredibly difficult for both of us. You know, Nelson's an incredibly talented racing driver, but from both our point of view, it just wasn't really meeting our expectations. And for us, coming to Rome, second half of the season is about really kind of focusing on the future now and maximising our season, really. So, yeah, difficult, but ultimately something which is the right call for both of us. And now we focus on the second half of the season and try and make the most of it.
Obviously, it's really difficult to choose a driver. I mean, Nelson hadn't performed. I think he'd only got 1 point so far this season for the team. But then if you look at Alex Lynn's history, when he was with the Virgin team, he didn't have a particularly great time there either. What is it that's made you choose Alex as a substitute driver?
So a number of factors, and we can't forget, you know, Alex got pole position in his first race in New York in season 3. You know, so a guy who has a lot of speed, and you know, from that point of view, we knew that raw speed is there. His junior categories were very successful. You know, GP3 champion. He raced a lot with Mitch. We can know they're very comparable on pace, and we know how well Mitch performs. So, from our point of view, also his experience in Formula E is vital. It's so different, this Formula, in terms of what the drivers need to bring, that we felt in the right team environment, we think he can do a great job.
As a Brazilian, sports is in my nature. It's in my blood. After driving for Ferrari, I have always felt connected with Italy. The passion of the people united us. Formula E has given me the platform to get excited about racing again. I am not here just to take part. I'm here to push for podium and especially for victories. I am Felipe Massa and I drive for Venturi Formula E team. We are going to play football in the stadium. We are playing like the Formula E drivers against the AS Rome legend. We're doing that to help charity, to help people that really needs. We're playing against amazing players. Players that won many championships, like Francesco Totti. Playing with him today will be a great pleasure for me, and I'm sure for all the Formula E drivers as well. I always loved sports. My mom, she was always training, she always liked sports, she always liked to be fit. I was always in the sports passion, you know, about racing cars, but about football. I was always competitive. I always played football when I was a kid, and I was always following. I still follow a lot. I think Italy is definitely my second country. I am coming from an Italian family. I have the Italian passport. My family was always very keen to the Italian way of living. I've been racing for Ferrari for a very long time, so it's inside the blood. So definitely this is like my home Grand Prix. I think it's fantastic to race in Rome because, I mean, Rome have a lot of fans for Formula 1, but also Formula E is racing here inside the city. They are crazy for the competition, they are crazy for the cars, and I think that's really fantastic to get all the Italians, you know, supporting, and definitely also with all my past that I have inside the Italian country. I think that really will give a lot of support to myself, and I really hope I can fight for the podium, fight for the victory. It will be fantastic. The competition is massive. It shows that every race a different driver can win. And the electric cars, it is already part of the present and it will be the future. So I am definitely in the right championship.
Felipe Massa there, enjoying life in Formula E. There are no Italians on the grid in Formula E, but because of his relationship with Ferrari, he's extremely popular. We're just moments away from the national anthem, but let's take a look at what happened in qualifying.
5 different manufacturers made it through to the Super Pole qualifying session reserved for the 6 fastest group qualifiers. But then rain came before the first car had made it out on track. Both Max Günther and Sebastian Buemi suffered in slippery conditions, finishing 5th and 6th fastest. Despite this earlier crash in free practice, Jose Maria Lopez was 3rd fastest for his best result since round 2 as track conditions improved steadily. After him, Mitch Evans posted his best qualifying result of the season for Panasonic Jaguar, nearly a half second faster than Lopez.
Yes, boy.
But the headlines were stolen by Andre Lauderer. Despite this slide at turn 13, he silenced the Jaguar garage, claiming pole by over 0.3 of a second. So Andre Lauderer is your 7th different pole sitter in 7 rounds, taking the 3 championship bonus points. Mitch Evans will start alongside him on the front row. Down on the grid, we've reached the climactic moment of the pre-race ceremonies. Time for the playing of the Italian national anthem. The anthem scheduled to be, well, here comes the anthem.
We are here on the grid. The Rome E-Prix is just moments away, and as Jack would say, we're moments away from going green. So let's talk to the man on pole position, if we can find him, which is, as we saw earlier on, Andre Lotterer. Where's Andre? Do you know where Andre's gone? Where Mark Preston, team principal of the team. Where's Andre gone?
I think he must have gone to the toilet, I think.
Do you know, it's just my luck. Always happens to me. Whenever we line someone up to be chatted to, they always go to the toilet. But you must be so pleased that you have another Techeetah on pole.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. He's been quick all morning, and yeah, even though he had that little mistake in the zip pole that made us all hold our breath, he was still just way quicker than everyone else. So yeah, really good day for him.
A victory last time out, and now pole for Andre. What's gone right for you guys?
I think we've probably just got things together. You know, Hong Kong and then Sanya, we've started to pull everything together really well, and now we're sort of back in Europe, and that often just makes a difference when you're back on sort of home soil, let's say. It makes it all a bit easier. So yeah, it's all coming together well.
All right, well, whilst we get the fly past out the way, because it is ridiculously noisy, and whilst we wait for Andre to return from the bathroom, let's go over to Nikki, who's with Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor.
Well, we're here with world-famous actor Ewan McGregor. He's come all the way from Scotland and brought the weather with him. Thanks, Ewan.
Well, I didn't come from Scotland, so it's not really my fault, the rain. No, apparently everyone kept telling us there's never been a race in 5 years that's taken place in the rain. But
yeah, that is correct. Yes, I'm pretty sure we're going to blame you for jinxing it.
What do you think it'll be like? Because they use the same tyres for the dry and the wet, right?
They do indeed. And the tricky thing with this is obviously we're on a street circuit, so as you can actually see, there is a lot of paint on the roads from all the different surface changes. So it's going to be very slippy, which means we can expect lots of action. But I want to ask about you. What are you doing here? You've actually you jumped in the hot seat of the Formula E car earlier, didn't you?
I sat in it. I didn't get to drive it, and to be honest, I'm quite glad, because I don't want to be in a powerful race car like that for the first time on a track that I don't know in the wet. Probably not a good idea. But I drove an i8 round there, and it was fun. Yeah. It's just amazingly narrow, you know, when you're on a road circuit like this and all the fences, and you're going into corners and there's no runoff. Like I'm used to doing track days on a motorcycle where when I fall off, there's quite a long way to slip. But here you just go straight into a wall, so that's quite intimidating.
It is indeed. That's why we love it, because you never quite know what's going to happen. Those walls are very unforgiving.
And there's lots of overtaking. So I've never been at a Formula E race, so I'm excited to see it. But it's going to be exciting, right? There's more overtaking opportunities and stuff.
Oh, there'll be plenty. Quickly tell us, what are you up to at the moment?
I just finished a film called Birds of Prey in LA, and I'm just waiting for the next thing to come along. I don't know what it'll be yet.
Stood at home waiting for the next the call.
The next script to come through. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Nice to be here.
And hopefully this umbrella won't come in use during the race, will you? Thank you. Ewan McGregor.
Thank you very much, Nikki. We have another special guest on the grid, so Chris Hoy. Chris, lovely to see you.
Likewise, good to see you, Baron.
Yeah, just tell us what you're doing here on the grid, because you've got some racing experience post-cycling, right?
Yeah, 2013, after I'd retired, I started racing cars just for fun, and it kind of snowballed from there. And 2 years ago, I did Le Mans, the 24-hour race at Le Mans, which was like a boyhood dream. So I still do racing whenever I can now. I do, all sorts of stuff. But yesterday, I got to drive one of the Gen 2 Formula E cars here on the circuit, which was amazing, incredible experience.
What was your initial reaction to getting in it? Because A, it's quite heavy, and B, it's quite fast.
First reaction was it's quiet. I didn't realise the engine was on, and they said, well, just put your foot in the throttle and the car moved forward, which was quite bizarre. The torque is amazing. That initial shove you get when you put your foot down, and just being on a circuit that's so tight. There's no room for error. There's walls on either side, and you really get an appreciation of what these guys do. And it was dry yesterday. Today it's wet. It'll be an amazing race to watch because it's so unpredictable.
And have you enjoyed the transition from 2 wheels to 4 wheels?
It's great because you start at the bottom rung of a whole new ladder, and every time you get in the car you learn a bit more. The experience, the speed, the adrenaline, the competition. So it's not replaced cycling. I still ride my bike and I still love cycling, but it's just a whole new hobby which I'm having a great time doing.
Now, I've got to ask you, there's that famous video of yourself, Chris, in the leg press machine. What was it, 550 kg, something like that?
650, 660 maybe.
Wow. Now, a lot of people... Oh! No, mine are I've got legs like a giraffe. You've got legs like a rhino. Unbelievable. Chris, always a pleasure.
Thanks,
really nice to see you. Absolutely. that you've got to see that video on YouTube. What was it? 650 kgs in the leg press. Okay, let's talk to our pole sitter. Oh, there's a queue. There's a queue. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's go over to Nikki. Nikki, where are you on the grid, please?
Well, Jean-Eric Verne, here collecting your thoughts, I assume, before the start of this race. We're down back in 16th position. Obviously, we've heard from Sam Bird and Lucas de Grassi earlier in qualifying, sort of complaining about this group structure being in Group 1. It's a real disadvantage, and obviously seeing a lot of you here at the back of the grid. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think, you know, I would not be complaining if we had a difficult race in terms of energy, a little bit like last year, where you kind of actually overtake. But you know, it's the way it is. I had actually a problem in qualifying where a wheel was getting detached, something we never had before on the car. So obviously that didn't make it very easy to drive. So I can't say I would have fight into super pole, but at least I wouldn't be starting so far back. But you know, I think it's going to be a fun race, and all I can hope for is, you know, stay out of trouble and score some good points, and you know, put on a good show.
And can the weather play to your advantage?
I don't know. I guess I'll tell you after the race.
All right. Well, good luck. Hopefully, we'll see you at the front, Jean-Eric Verne.
Mitch Evans, confident drive in qualifying, which has seen you take second place on the grid. You must be happy with this morning.
Yeah, super happy. We've had a tough few qualifying sessions in the past. The guys have worked really hard since Sanya to try and get the car back in its window, and it's obviously worked. So yeah, really happy. Just a big thanks to everyone back at the factory and at the track here for giving us a good car. Obviously the conditions are completely changed now. It's wet, and in Hong Kong we were struggling a little bit, to be honest. So it's a slight concern, but hey, we've done a lot of work. So hopefully the pace is still there, and we can move forward.
Fingers crossed. And speaking of moving forward, you've got Andre Lotterer in front of you, tough, aggressive driver. What have you got to do to get past him?
Yeah, he's probably the most aggressive driver on the track. So I'm sure he'll make it hard. But to be honest, you know, we'll see. We'll just play it as it comes. I can be pretty cunning at times as well. So let's see. You know, if he's got good pace and he clears out, then I'll try and follow him. And just got to stay in the game until the last few laps.
All the best. Mum and Dad are here as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go and find Andre Lotterer. Finally, it might be our turn, because I guarantee that he'll say, no, I'm not talking to you, because we're going to say, Andre, just quickly, quick word. Congratulations on pole position. Got the race ahead of you, different conditions to qualifying. What have you got to do to take your first ever victory in Formula E?
Stay ahead.
Yes, it's as simple as that. But in all seriousness, conditions have changed. How long is it going to take you to get used to the wet in various places around the track?
It's going to be tough, you know. We haven't tried the car in the wet here, and looks like some asphalts have different types of grip. So as you saw in qualifying, I lost the rear in turn 13 because of that.
Have they told you about the Jag from the reaction from the Jaguars?
I saw in the video. It was yeah, it was entertaining. So it's good that we got the better end of it. And no, now it's got to do the job. You know, it's going to be the toughest part. But I have a good car. It should be okay in the rain. So let's hope I can put everything together and break my no victory.
Well, fingers crossed you'll be the man that's spraying the champagne a little bit later on. All the best. One of the most aggressive drivers on the Formula E grid. Let's see if we can find Mark Webber. There he is. Mark Webber being the most handsome gentleman on the grid. Just quickly, sorry Mark, just a quick, I do beg your pardon, but we are live. Mark, how are you?
Yeah, great. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very good. The last time we spoke to you was in Berlin. What do you think of the progression of Formula E since then?
It's absolutely just it's launching, mate. I think, you know, with the continuity of the calendar now, operationally getting, you know, just polishing up the events, you know, weekend by weekend actually. So and seeing, you know, the drivers, the depth in the field, it's getting tighter and tighter all the time. So it's getting very, very competitive, extremely professional, and yeah, it's getting very, very serious now that the pros are starting to come to the front, which is how it should be.
Well, you go and enjoy the VIP room. I'm sure you will. Lovely to see you as always.
I don't know where the VIP room is, mate. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, you do. I'm sure you do. All right, let's take a look at the track with our very own Dario.
This Rome track is my favourite of the season. Come on, let's go take a lap of this 2.84 kilometre, 21 turn circuit. Turns 1 and 2 are 90-degree corners. Then it's a long descent where you'll be committing to turn 3 flat out, and it's completely blind as the track drops off. Continuing on the steep downhill section, we arrive at turn 4. You're turning and braking. Tight 90-degree left at turn 5 at the bottom of the hill. This is really your first overtaking opportunity of the lap. As you approach turn 5, there's a bump at the end of the braking zone and 4 surface changes at apex, and it's through the tunnel to the next corner. Turn 6, we've got some bumps, some surface changes at apex. Now a good exit is vitally important at this corner, because from here, we're at the lowest point of the track. It's a long, steep climb up to turn 9, and lap time can either be gained or lost in a hurry. And to make things more interesting, they've put the attack mode activation zone on the inside of the corner on exit. There will be a massive difference in speed between those using the traditional racing line, those coming offline to come through this area to activate attack mode. That's going to make them very vulnerable to being overtaken on the next section of track. We're almost at the top of the hill and we've reached my favourite part of the track. Yeah, it's a little bit childish, but who doesn't love a jump?
All the cars taking off as they crest the hill. Wow!
At turn 9, the track is narrow on entry and widens a lot on exit, allowing you to carry lots of speed, which makes passing difficult. There's a narrow exit at turn 10, then a short straight before the all-important chicane. It's all about rhythm here, and to maintain speed, you want to use as much of the curb as possible. Use too much, and you risk damaging the suspension. Now, the 11-12 chicane is so important because it leads to here, the main overtaking chance of the lap at turn 13. A very tight hairpin, it's quite narrow too. It is also the first corner the cars will see from the start line. So, I would expect quite a lot of action here at this spot. Lots of contact, some crunching carbon fibre. Then it's towards the busiest section of the track. From turn 16 onwards, there are 6 corners in quick succession. There's a lot going on here, and you've got to be precise. 2 more 90-degree corners conclude a lap here in Rome.
We are just moments away from round 7 of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship, coming to you live from the eternal city of Rome. In just a moment's time, we will hand over to our race commentators. But if this is your first time that you've seen Formula E, then let us give you a guide. Let's find out exactly what is Formula E and the basics of this multi-talented racing series.
Flat out, go flat out.
22 world-class drivers, 11 teams, 12 iconic cities across 5 continents. Formula E is the world's premier fully electric racing series and the fastest growing form of motorsport on the planet.
And he's gone for it! Locks up the front 2 tyres!
This year's stunning Gen 2 cars have the same chassis, 2 sets of all-weather tyres and a battery capable of delivering 250 kilowatts. This evolution means that drivers will now only use 1 car to complete the race. The new battery propels the car from 0 to 60 in just 2.8 seconds, with a top speed of 175 miles per hour.
And there goes Van!
The races, known as E-Prix, are run mostly on city streets and last 45 minutes plus 1 final flying lap to the checkered flag.
The Grassi wins!
But this isn't ordinary racing. 5 drivers, as voted by the fans through Formula E's website or social media platforms, get Fan Boost, 1 burst of extra power during the race. And a brand new innovation for this season, Attack Mode, where a driver can collect extra power by driving over an activation zone off the racing line. Choosing the right time to go into Attack Mode could win or lose either race.
That's gone wide!
It's fresh, it's fast, and it's super exciting. It's Formula E.
The second half of Season 5 of the pioneering all-electric ABB FIA Formula E Championship is about to begin. Welcome to the GEOX Rome E-Prix. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Bob Varsha. This second visit to the streets of Rome will be new territory thanks to the great equalizer in motorsports, a wet racetrack with the possibility of another shower at any moment. And that could well produce our 7th straight different race winner, even if it doesn't rain again. The competition is so fierce and so equal, the championship standings at the end of the day will almost certainly look very different from what they were coming in. Time now to turn it over to the men who will call the start. Lead race commentator Jack Nichols and 3-time Indy 500-mile winner Dario Franchitti.
Thank you very much, Bob. Here's a look at the grid as they are ready to go for the Rome E-Prix. Pole position, Andre Lotterer. A very impressive performance from the German as he tries to win in Formula E for the first time. Alongside him on the front row, Mitch Evans for the Jaguar Racing Team. They needed a strong qualifying and they got one from the Kiwi. Then it's Jose Maria Lopez in the GEOX Dragon. They had a very strong qualifying, both of the cars in the top 5. Alongside him is Stoffel van Dorn.
Stoffel van Dorn in the HWA Race Lab car, a rookie. Some fantastic qualifying performances this year, but terrible luck. Next to him, Maxi Gunther. He is literally driving for his job. He was rested after 3 races in the Dragon team, but brought back for this race.
Sebastian Buemi starts his 6th place on the grid, amazingly, yet to win a race yet so far this season. Eduardo Mortara is the highest placed driver to have won a race this year. He's in 7th on the grid, ahead of Robin Freitz in the Envision Virgin Racing Team. 3 podiums, no victory. Then we've got Felipe Massa down in 9th spot on the grid. In 10th is Oliver Rowland after he hit the wall during qualifying. Then in 11th place, we have Antonio Felix da Costa.
Our championship leader, Antonio Felix da Costa, he needs to get up to the front of the field if he wants to break away from his championship contenders.
Sam Bird is 4th in the championship. He's lying in 12th place on the grid. Lucas de Grassi is 5th in the championship. He's 13th on the grid. Then we've got Pascal Wehrlein, who is 10th in the championship. He's 14th on the grid. Then behind them, we've got Gary Paffett, 15th on the grid for the HWA Race Lab driver. And then it's Jean-Eric Verne, the reigning champion, 3rd in the championship, all the way down in 16th spot. Daniel Abt is starting behind for the Audi Sport Abt Schaeffler team. Then it's the first of the Neo cars, Oliver Turvey, qualifying down in 18th position. And his teammate is just a couple of spots behind. Jerome D'Ambrosio, 2nd in the championship, 19th on the grid. But he has come from the back of the grid a lot this season to score good points. 20th is Tom Dillman. And then we've got Alex Lynn making his return to Formula E. He was excluded from qualifying for an overuse of power, unfortunately for him. And then at the back of the grid, Alexander Sims, whose car broke down during qualifying, and he will start 22nd, the 2 British drivers at the back of the field. Green flag waved. The cars will now make their way around about half of this circuit to get to the start line. But that is the timing line, that's the finish line, that's where the laps start and stop. We are now making our way around to the start line. Dario, are we calling this a wet race?
I do believe this is a wet race,
You reckon it's a wet race?
There is not actually rain falling out of the sky, but the track is fully wet. I expect it to dry up as the race goes on, but this is a wet race, and it is going to be madness going into turn 1. There's no other word for it, because the track on the right, driver's right, there is a surface there that we've seen in qualifying. The cars cannot slow down on. So everybody on the right side of the track is going to be pushing over to try and get into the grippy part of the track.
Virgin not expecting any more rain over the course of the race. Here's a look at the circuit itself.
So here's the track, 2.8 kilometers, a fabulous track, steeply downhill through turns 3, 4, into 5, from 6, attack mode activation on the left, back up the hill, over the jump in 8, difficult braking zone in 9, narrows up out of 10 through the chicane, over the start line. This is the area we're talking about, tight hairpin in turn 13. A very, very technical section, 16, 17 to 21. That is a lap of this wonderful track here in Rome.
Ninfeo Park being filled with fans with the hilly banks, a great vantage point to watch this race unfold. There's the Drivers' Championship as it stands. Da Costa on top, 1 point ahead of D'Ambrosio, Jean-Eric Verne in 3rd, Bird in 4th, De Grassi in 5th. They are all 11th or lower on the grid.
It's a very mixed up grid, isn't it? We've got both the Dragon cars. We're in Super Bowl today. They're in the top 6. That was a fabulous performance by them. But it is so mixed up. The rain as well, the wet track. You can see it drying up as they go up the hill, but it's going to take quite a while. But it's mixed up everything even more. And
if there was no margin for error before, there is even less now in the wet track. You see all the painted surfaces. Those will be like ice for these Formula E cars. For any racing car, those are like ice. We're using the same Michelin tyres as we would use in a dry track. It's one type of tyre, wet or dry.
We're in the Eur district of Rome, Espiziano Universale Rome, which was built for 1942 for the World's Fair, which was subsequently cancelled because of World War II. And it's a fascinating part of the city, a lot more modern than the downtown Colosseum and the Roman ruins, of course, but it's going to play host to a spectacular race. Big, wide, and that's Sam Bird with the Gladiator on top of his helmet, designed by his stepson Flynn.
I expect, again, the guys on driver's left to have a better start because they've got more grip on the surface. You'll see half the cars on the driver's right, half the car is on the right side of the car, is on the slippery tarmac. Going to be very challenging for those drivers at the start.
The shape of the championship could well dramatically change after 45 minutes plus 1 lap. On pole position, we've got Andre Lotterer. Mitch Evans is alongside him on the front row of the grid. Lopez and Van Dorn are on row 2. It's a curved start as well.
Mitch Evans' steering wheel says burnout on it. Hopefully go for the start setting rather than the burnout.
Hashtag Rome E-Prix. As we look at the start and everybody just waiting for those lights, here they come. When all 5 go out, 45 minutes plus 1 lap of racing will be underway. The DS Techeetah, black and gold of Lotterer on pole. All 5 lights are on. And we go green in Rome. It's a pretty decent start from Stoffel Van Dorn, flying through the field. Across comes Andre Lotterer to cover the inside line. Evans slots into second place. Van Dorn goes to the outside. Straight on goes Jose Maria Lopez in the Dragon. He loses a couple of places. Everybody safely through the first corner. Very, very neatly and tightly done. Alexander Sims has made up 4 places off the start, but Andre Lotterer holds the lead. Mitch Evans into second place still. Third still Stoffel Van Dorn, despite getting a rocket ship start. Sebastian Buemi is in 4th position then.
The drivers at this point are feeling out the grip jack, feeling how much grip they've got available when they brake, when they turn into the corner. But there's so many different surfaces as well. Every corner is slightly different, and they can't afford a mistake. But they can't afford to take it easy either, otherwise they'll get overtaken. We see it looks like Felipe Massa and the Venturi making a mistake, and the car behind all over the back of him.
Excellent start from Robin Freitz as well, who qualified in 8th place, and he's managed to get up into 6th. Part of that helped by Jose Maria Lopez running wide. Big slide for Gunter, and he just keeps it out of the wall. Unbelievable, but there's carbon fibre flying off. The front wing must have been damaged there, and there's bodywork flying everywhere off the front of Maxi Gunter's car. He'll have to come into pit. That allows Robin Freitz up into 5th position, but that was a big, big slide from Maxi Gunter, who's making his return to the Dragon team, having been benched for 3 races. Lotterer leads, Evans second.
Stay out, please, stay out.
Stay out is the message to Maxi Gunter. This is the jump section of the circuit. Da Costa up the inside of Gunter now in the blue and white BMW I Andretti car.
It looks like Lopez hit the back of the BMW. Gunter's problem is he's lost a lot of front grip. There's no front wing on the car. It's going to handle a lot differently. The front tyres will not grip because it's lost the aerodynamic advantage.
There's a look up the inside. That's going to be close. Bird's hit. Bird's been spun around by Jose Maria Lopez. It is that Bird out of the race again on the opening lap for the second race in a row. Sam Bird out.
Left rear damage. There's just no need for that.
Down they come into the hairpin now. Bit of side-by-side action with the Mahindra and Daniel Abt. But it looks as though Sam Bird, who is lying in 4th place in the championship, may be out of this race. The winner of the Rome E-Prix 12 months ago.
And in the last race in China, Sam didn't even get to the end of the first lap. It's not helping this championship GEOX at all. It looked to me like he was innocent victim there.
Bird saying it's done, the race is over, and that is the end of his race. Lotterer leads, Evans second there, third is Stoffel Van Dorn, being closed by Sebastian Buemi, then it's Robin Freitz behind, then it's the next Nissan of Oliver Rowland, then it is the Venturi of Felipe Massa. Vern, oh dear. Vern, a Jaguar, red flag. Oh, it's chaos. Absolute chaos.
Turn 17, 18 area.
Wow.
Lopez,
Paffett, Verline, D'Ambrosio, Abt, Turvey. And that is the bus stop chicane, and it's become a car park.
It looks like
Lopez was pushed into the wall by somebody. I don't know if they're running side by side. Hopefully we've got some nice replays coming up.
I'm fairly sure we'll have caught some of it.
Wow.
All right, guys, this is race control.
And that's blocking
There's
the
a
entrance to the pit lane.
100% blockage of the racetrack. HWA, your car is still running. You need to stop your car, please.
The back tyres are spinning, I think, is what they're saying.
See, I don't think the cars can get through to the pit lane or the start-finish line. So the wheels have stopped spinning now on that HWA car of Gary Paffett.
I don't think there's any damage in there, Jack, that's not sort of quickly fixable, so it's all bodywork.
Here's a look what happened then. On board with Jean-Eric
teams,
Vergne.
there's 100% track blockage at turn 17.
Look, 2 cars, 3 cars ahead.
100% track blockage at turn 17. Please be aware.
Lopez lost it by himself.
Cars are stopped at turn 17.
Lopez hit the curb, slid the car, overcorrected, and you see the result. It's so narrow at that spot, 100% track blockage. As Scott Elkins, the race director, said.
You notice that the upper part of your screen, the clock has stopped under the red flag. That's a new rule passed by the unanimous vote of the teams. Rather than letting the clock run and adding the lost time at the end of the race, they'll just stop the clock and resume when we go green again.
Yeah, which was it was basically what happened before behind the safety car, because they would then reset the clock to the initial time. But this is just basically a simpler, more straightforward way of doing it. So there's a look at the fantastic Aur district.
Stunning.
Luna Park there on the right-hand side, a wonderful example of fascist architecture, this whole area. And further up north into the city is the old stuff, the Colosseum and the Vatican City. Yeah, the old stuff.
You should be a tour guide, Jack.
Yes, definitely.
And Vergne's he's gone into pit lane. They can work on the car in the red flag, so come in, change the nose. They should be good to go.
So Sam Bird says he needs a drive shaft and a rear corner on the radio to his team. Is he thinking, you know what, guys, I've got an opportunity to crawl back to the pits and we can fix this under red flag?
I think with the drive shaft gone, there will be no drive, I would imagine. I think they won't bring him back to the pits.
Proceed directly to pit lane. We'll work on the order, but proceed directly to pit lane.
Well, that's a big ask to ask them to
stop
go through that.
short right in front of race control. Stop in front of the Audi tent, please. The leader, stop in front of the Audi tent.
They've got to, I think the problem is they can't move Paffett's car. So they'll try and get all of the...
Paffett's car looks damaged.
Bird's made it to the pits. Bird's made it to the pits.
Shows what I know. Terrific job.
Wow. But did he go a lap down? No, he didn't. Bird didn't. Or did he?
I think he did, Jack.
He must have done, mustn't he?
Yeah. Going back to Gary Paffett for a second, it looks like the left front is towing way out. So I would say the left front, it's difficult to see with the bodywork of the Generation 2 car, but it looks like that left front is damaged.
I don't think Bird is a lap down.
I don't think so either.
Because they count 1.5 laps is the first lap.
But the leader's is he ahead of the leader? He's ahead of the leader.
I think he's ahead of the leader. I think he came into the pits ahead of the leader, and according to the timing screens, he's 3 minutes 13 seconds behind Lotterer, but not a lap behind.
Yeah, that'd be amazing for him if that is the case.
Wow. It's done is what he said on the radio, but now he's managed to get back to the pit lane, and they can work on the cars under red flag conditions.
But changing a drive shaft is a big ask.
Crack on, guys.
Yeah. He's going to get out.
Here's a replay of the start then.
Look how the driver's right. Just look how disadvantaged that side of the grid are.
Massa got a rocket ship start.
Did a fantastic job, and then Lopez tries to go to the outside onto the slippery surface. Clearly wasn't watching qualifying.
He was in qualifying though.
He wasn't watching the other people, and you can see there's just no grip.
Yeah.
And then he tries to brake, and off he goes.
And then I'm interested to see what Lopez does with Bird at the chicane as well, because it seemed like a bit of a mad move from Lopez, but we'll wait and see.
It looks like Sam slowed down and Lopez didn't. Whether he was just unsighted or not is tough to say. Easy to say from here when you've got this view.
Oh, Sims went in the wall.
Did he as well? He's done a lot of damage to the bodywork.
But again, red flag, so he can come in and repair that.
Yeah.
This was Gunter.
Very strange accident.
Front wing already damaged and coming off and away.
I wonder if the front wing being damaged like that pinned the nose and caused that huge slide because it moved the aerodynamic pressure to the front of the car.
This is on the run down. I think we're going to see Gunther. Oh, this is on board with Gunther.
Oh, he hit a ton. No, it just snapped, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that's what broke the nose, was actual impact. Good recovery.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. So Bird. So Lopez is. He's not alongside.
Where is he going? I mean, Lopez's qualifying performances have been fabulous this year, but he keeps doing stuff like that in the race. Look at Sam Bird's head.
Yeah.
It shows you how big an impact with the wall that was. Lopez just needs to calm down a wee bit to actually get a result.
Autosport reporting that the FIA have said they're going to be harsher on penalties now with Formula E drivers, and I think that's an example of where you can be harsh with penalties. On board with Jean-Eric Vergne, this was the pile-up. Lopez lost it again. He had a shocker of a first lap, Jose Maria Lopez, really I'm afraid to say.
I think from the immediate start, he had that bad start, and then it went from there, didn't it? And the Envision guys don't want us taking pictures of the powertrain at the back, the Audi powertrain. Because that's all the difference in the cars. It's not aerodynamics as in other series, it's all in the powertrain. And so they prefer we didn't take close-ups. And they've covered it with a carpet, so we can't see that area. So look at Paffett, look at the left front, it's damaged, so
but they've only got 2 cars to clear, and there is Paffett. And that's his race run. Pretty unfortunate, really, for Gary Paffett. 3
DNFs did not finish us so far. This is number 4, and he can't buy a break. He was totally not at fault of what just happened. There's nothing he could have done.
So Paffett's car being removed, and obviously once he's out of the car and the car has been craned up by the marshals, they can't take that back to the garage and then fix it. Once they're out of the car and it's been affected by the marshals, then that's done. There's Maxi Gunter's car.
You saw him pointing to the lower wishbone on the right-hand side. I wonder if he was seeing if there's a small kink in the wishbone. It means it's weakened, you can't run it. So
Tom Dane's attaching the new front wing. Lopez might get away with this, you know. Lopez is coming back to the pits. Now, he may have been lapped officially now, because all the cars went past him while he was waiting there, but the red flag might have happened already.
Yeah, the red flag was out, I think, Jack. You see Andre Luttra just trying to stay cool, keep focused as Lopez comes back at the pits. The Dragon pit garage is very early in the pit lane.
Well, let's go down to Nikki Shields, shall we? She's with Jay Penske. My apologies, Nikki. What's he got to say?
Jay Penske. Jay is currently in the middle of trying to communicate logistics with the team, obviously trying to get, the car sorted. Jay, can you just give us a quick insight into what's going on at the moment?
Yeah, on the start, they were, I guess, in a bunch of puddles, both the 3 and 5 spot, and they lost a bunch of traction. And then, Bird closed the door when Jose was inside of him, and they got collected. And it's been a very tough start to the race for us.
Tough start to the race, but it looks like, could they both re-enter the race?
Yeah, it looks like we'll see what Jose looked like. He got hit pretty hard from behind there, so we'll see if it was a bent suspension or it's just a tire.
Brilliant. All right, thanks very much.
A pretty optimistic view from Jay, to be honest, that the door was closed by Sam Bird. I'm not sure he expected him to disappear to, but you have these views, and so each team supports
teams.
The driver.
We are working on the order.
Look at the damage. Look at the drivetrain.
There are
of
11 cars that completed
Audi
one more lap
drivetrain
than the other 11.
On the Virgin.
We'll make that adjustment and have an order for you shortly. Please stand by. Stand by.
Okay, so race control saying we're aware that there were 11 cars that completed an extra lap to the other 11. But that's possibly referring more to energy usage than actual being a lap down. So they are, the FIA, working on it to try and construct an order. So a bit of a pause for these fans in Rome, whilst we get ready for the restart of the race.
Track is drying all the time.
Yeah,
as this goes on.
Pretty remarkable crowd, all things considered, especially the weather.
The weather really sort of snuck up on everybody, didn't it? Because it was beautiful sunshine this morning. Not when we arrived. It was dark when we arrived at the track this morning. First practice was at 7:30. But it was beautiful sunshine, and then the clouds just appeared, and down came the rain.
Indeed. So, work going on most of the cars, frankly. Now they can do whatever they want to the cars, and then there will be a 10-minute warning and then the race will get back underway. And hopefully we're not too far away from that 10-minute warning, because it was only Jose Maria Lopez's car's got back to the pit, so it's only the Paffett car and a bit of carbon fibre that needs to be dealt with. As we look down into the very busy pit lane in the Piazza, or around the Piazza JFK. The safety car at the front of the field. So, and that's not the correct order in the pit lane, is it? Because Tom Dillman's in there in second place. Don't really know how he ended up there. Here's the work going on Sam Bird's car. Wow.
Look at the drive shaft. Look how thick the drive shaft is. It's got carbon drive shaft all over. Because of efficiency, the powertrains, and everybody's building everything as lightly as possible. But we've seen the reverse side of building everything lightly. There's been a lot of issues with powertrain and drive shafts.
So let's look at some of the start onboards. Onboard with Mitch Evans here.
Mitch got a great start, but nowhere to go. He said Andre Lotter, a little nudge, but he said Andre Lotter is very aggressive. And he is. Mitch was right on the edge of locking the whole braking zone. Nice power down.
Right, let's go down to Vernon Kay, who's with Sylvain Filippi.
Yes, thank you, Jack. I am indeed. Sylvain changing the drivetrain on the rear left. Are we going to get it done in time?
Well, it depends how much time we have. It's looking very challenging. It's not the whole drivetrain, it's the rear left corner, but it's a big job. Normally we like to do that with time, so yeah, challenging.
And just to clarify, Sam's incident happened on the same lap as Lopez's incident, which was the reason why we all stopped.
Yeah. Lopez spun in turn 1 and then arrived pretty much at the same level as Sam, and then they hit at the next turn after that. So yeah, pretty unfortunate. I have to say it's a bit too close for my liking, all this, but yeah.
All right, thank you very much. All the best, fingers crossed. Nicky, over to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm here with Gary Paffett. Gary, I mean, what can you do? You were a passenger in that collision there. Talk us through what happened from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, starting from 15th, obviously wasn't the best qualifying, but our car's been good in the wet in these mixed conditions, and I made a good start. I made a couple of places up and was feeling pretty strong in the car, and then I was right behind Lopez. Me and Jeff were nose to tail coming into the chicane. And I guess, I don't know exactly what he did, but I think he made the apex curb, hit it too hard and hit the exit wall, basically. And when a car hits the wall and you're that close, you have nowhere to go. And Jeff hit the back of me, which made the impact harder, and it's obviously broken the car, and that's the end of the race. So a real shame to say, because I think we were looking quite good to get in the points today, which is what we wanted. So it's pretty disappointing.
I mean, the fact that we are now sort of midpoint of the season as well, this could have been a brilliant opportunity for you and the team to actually really start to make a bit of a difference.
Yeah. I mean, the pace is in the car. Stoffel got good pace out the car in qualifying, and he's in P3 right now. And I didn't get now qualifying, but I was feeling good for the race, especially in these conditions. And I think we could have had a good points finish today. So it's frustrating when you kind of get everything right and then something like this happens, which is totally out of your control. So it's it is frustrating. But we'll bounce back and we'll get there.
Good. Fighting talk. Thanks very much, Gary. Jack, back to you.
Thank you, Nicky. Good to hear from Sylvain Filippi and Gary Paffett there. Sun's coming out. Lovely day in Rome. And that's the sort of rough order on the left-hand side. But we're waiting for an official order from the FIA. Here's on board with Stoffel Van Dorn. He started like a rocket.
Look at the difference in speed to the guys on the other side of the grid. He's searching. He doesn't want to go too far over to the left of our screen, though, because that's where the slippery tarmac is, as Lopez found out. Listen to the torque of the electric motor causing the wheel spin as it accelerates out of the hairpin. And in Hong Kong, the HWA car was the class of the field in the wet practice sessions and qualifying.
It's on board with Maxi Gunter. Slow start for him as well in the other Dragon.
Hit a wheel spin, immediate wheel spin. Bit of smoke.
And then he kind of went straight on down at the hairpin. Felipe Massa, he got a good start as well.
Straight over, didn't he? That was great reactions from Felipe Massa.
Managed to get him into 7th place. Side by side with his teammate Mortara.
Three wide. You can't get 3 cars through there.
So this next one with Sam Bird is interesting because he's got Oliver Rowland there forward to the left of him.
Watch how quickly it slows down in front of him. Sam's already preempting it. He's kind of playing with the throttle.
And there comes Da Costa, who started alongside Bird in front on the left-hand side.
Sam was trying to do the big move around the outside, but the gap just didn't open up for him, and he gets pushed wide. In turn 14, it's just nowhere to go.
So is that? Has he got? Is that Lopez in front of him?
It looks like Lopez to me, yeah.
So Bird obviously passes Lopez, and then gets hit back. So whether Bird was trying to pass Lopez perhaps at the chicane.
Round the outside, yeah,
maybe. I don't know, but suddenly Lopez is in front.
We'd love to see that.
On board with Daniel Abt, 18th on the grid. That's Verne up the inside to the left.
They're just sort of playing with the brake pedal, getting ready to react as he hits the car in front and hits it again. Camera's right in the nose, right at the tip of the car, and the driver can't see that. Oh wow, that's broken again. I think the contract to supply nose cams to Formula E could be quite lucrative.
Yeah. There's a look at the Colosseo Quadrato, the square Colosseum, but still under red flag conditions at the moment. And well, I think the delay now, I believe, will be the sorting out the order. That's going to be the crucial thing. Let's go back down to Vernon Kay.
Alec Nish, the man in charge of the Audi team. Are both your cars all right?
Yes, they are. Daniel had a little split up the nose because he was in the middle, or actually in the back of that melee that caused the red flag there. But Lucas is perfectly fine.
Outlook for the race now?
Well, hopefully for us going forward, because we're 11th and 14th, I think, after it'll all sort of finalise out. It's going to be dry now, so it's going to be quite a different race than if it had run all the way through. And I think that'll put a different perplexion on it. But it's going to be a tough one as well, because it's still going to be greasy and slippery offline, so overtaking is going to be very hard.
Well, Lucas is a very, very patient driver, and you know that he's not going to remain in that place that he sits now.
You think he's patient? I can tell you he's not very patient. He may seem on the outside, but on the inside he's very Latin, and he says he's 85% Italian, and it definitely comes out. Now, he's got a very good understanding how to sort of make his way through things, and also at the end of the day for him now, and also for Daniel, it's about collecting as many points as possible and looking for the championship at the end of the year as opposed to just this race.
The bigger picture, Alan.
The bigger picture.
All right, thank you very much.
Little wave from McNish, how polite. There's Daniel Abt, then Sissing waiting to go. Wanting to push. On board with Jean-Eric Verne now at the start of the race.
Lovely start. Listen to how little wheel spin he had compared to the other people we've been on board with. He's going to head drivers left, is he? No, the hole closes. Discretion, better part of valor. Wait it out. Can he drive around the outside? Yeah, oh, he's going to get another one. Oh, now he just head the Mahindra into the wall, and it breaks Jean-Eric breaks the diffuser of the Mahindra in front.
Into the bus stop. Safely through that time. So somewhere he's going to get in front of this Mahindra, because the Mahindra was behind in the accident that has caused this red flag.
Slippery as he exits turn 2, heading down the hill. Does he lift? Nope, not a bit of it. Lifted early before there's a bit of a car in the middle of the track. See to your right. That's the front wing of the Dragon as it slides downhill. Self-cleans itself and heads off down the escape road. Can he get a better exit? 6 up the hill and run past the Mahindra in front. Now, for a little wheel spin. Feathering the throttle, he can't go through. Normally turn 7 is easy flat out, as is turn 8. Oh, here he comes from a long way back.
Good effort. Verline gives him room.
Yeah, didn't want to give up the position, but definitely give him room. And watch up ahead.
Are we going to see Bird in the wall?
Let's see. Yeah,
I think we will.
Bird's
yes,
on the outside.
It looked like they went side by side through there.
Now, was Sam Bird ahead? Was he trying to make the overtaking maneuver?
Because that changes it, doesn't it? If he's trying to go round the outside,
absolutely,
it changes it
massively.
Attention all teams, this is race control.
Nice move by Gary
We are going
Paffett.
to publish the order via RCNS. I would like to ask that all teams clear your equipment from the working lane so that we may reorder the cars. Everyone clear your equipment from the working lane so that we may
look at the white car, two
reorder
ahead.
the cars.
Watch the white car, two ahead.
This is why there's a red flag.
Look at the left rear wheel of the HW8 in front spinning away. There's a pole sitter, Andre Losser straight over. Driver's left. Bit of lock up. See how close he gets to the wall on Apex. Loads of space. Exit wall. He's been very cautious for Andre Lotterer. He spent a lot of his career in Japan, so he knows how to drive a car as well as anybody on a wet track, in tricky, slippery conditions. He's a master.
So the teams now have to clear away their equipment from the pit lane. Now, how far have they got with Bird's car? That's going to be the question. That was the car that needed the most repairing. There's a lot of Envision Virgin Racing driver. They're just putting the lid on.
The engine cover. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Corners back on. You see the upright. That's the bit that the wheel attaches to, the brake disc attaches to. And the wheel's going on.
Looks like they're pretty much there for the Envision Virgin Racing team. They've got
these guys working on the cars.
Yeah, they've got a special date, the 24th of April on the roll hoop of the car, because there's going to be some big announcements in a couple of weeks.
Chris Gorn directing things. Technical director, isn't he?
Correct.
At Envision Virgin Racing.
Albert Lau on the left and Eduardo Mortara there, straight ahead. Let's go down to Vernon Kay.
So I'm here with Mark Preston, the main man here at Team DS Techeetah. Jev was involved in the big incident. Is his car all right? Have you had managed to time to repair it?
Yeah, I think he pretty much went straight in underneath, so I think it's just the whole front nose box, so that's a very easy thing to change. I think they've got it ready there, so looks okay.
Do you know what always amazes me is how versatile gaffer tape is, because you've repaired the front wing with gaffer tape.
Yeah, it's pretty strong stuff. You know, it comes from helicopters or something like that, I think. So
it looks like a central London taxi.
Yeah, I've got to do it fast. You know, we're running out of bits from so many little crashes in the races. So yeah.
How do you guys have to react to situations like this? Does it throw you off your tempo? Does it throw you out of your rhythm?
We've got a really good system behind. You know, there's a lot of people that have different radios, so certain people talk on certain radio channels, and so it's all as organised as it can be. It's controlled chaos.
All right, thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Nothing a bit of sticky plaster can't fix. Ewan McGregor here watching the E-Prix. So Chris Hoy as well. Drove the car yesterday.
There's the first non-Scotsman.
Yeah. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about Mark Webber.
Ouch.
That's not true, obviously. Lovely man. Mitch Evans might not thank us for playing that one. Sebastian Buemi now running in 4th place.
Attention team,
having a little
race control. The restart order has been sent to you via RCNS in 2 parts. The first part, starting with car 36, is the order as it is. The second half will be cars that we're going to need to complete 1 more lap to match the order. So please be aware of this. Have a look, see where you guys are at, and maybe start helping us get this order sorted, please.
Okay, so they're basically what I'm guessing here is they're going to move the cars that need to do another lap in terms of fairness for energy and in terms of the timing screen. They'll try and move them in front of all the other cars in the pit lane, and then subsequently do a lap, join the back of the queue, and then a lap behind the safety car. We've still got attack mode to use. There is the attack mode activation zone on the exit of turn 6 twice during the race, and each attack mode lasts 4 minutes, gives you an extra 25 kilowatts power boost to 225 kilowatts.
12% increase, quite handy. Teams spent a lot of money to find that kind of increase. I wonder, will you use that as you come back up the hill to take the green flag after the restart? Because that sort of negates the disadvantage of the time loss going to the attack mode.
In principle, yes, but it depends when you know when the safety car will be coming in. And I think that's too early in the lap for the safety car lights to be off. Because you'd think after the red flag they'd just do 1 lap and in. But in Hong Kong they did 2 laps and in. Roger Griffiths is now down talking to Nikki Shields.
So we're down here in the BMW Andretti garage with team principal Roger Griffiths. Roger, good news, I suppose. Both your drivers stayed out of that drama. Antonio Felix Costa, though, in P10 at the moment, and obviously he is at the top of the driver standing, so he's going to want to, looking to increase that lead at the moment.
No, absolutely. I mean, he made a really good start from 13th place, picked up off a few cars there. You know, conditions out there are super tricky, as we've seen already. And it's just a case of staying out of trouble, working your way through the field, being smart when you make your move, and let's see how much further we can get up the field. I mean, you never know what's going to happen out the front there. So, yeah, I mean, you know, what we saw was the excitement of qualifying, of you know, the top 5 drivers in Group 1 going out first. Track conditions are improving through the qualifying session, and you know, this was what they wanted from the outset with this qualifying concept. So it's working. It's frustrating from a team perspective, but you know, for the fans, it's got to be exciting to watch the leaders in the championship coming through the field. So
does that mean you think it's the right thing to do?
Depends which hat I'm wearing. You know, if I'm a fan, yes, it's great, but from a team perspective, it's a challenge. We know what they're trying to do, but it's the same for everybody, so we make the most of it.
Thanks very much, Roger Griffiths.
There is Antonio Felix da Costa, championship leader, but 10th place for him at the moment is, in the grand scheme of things, relatively positive. So there's Lotter's car. So they're moving the... So they've decided it's easier to move the cars that need to be overtaken into the slow lane of the pit lane, I think.
Yeah, and then the ones who has to do the extra lap will go into the running lane, as it were, in pit lane. There's Lopez.
Like a wave by.
This man's not making many friends this afternoon, is he, so far?
No, indeed. We were just looking at Antonio Felix da Costa. Now let's talk to him.
How frustrating this must feel at the moment. You know, you get into the driving seat, you're all geared up for a 45-minute plus 1 lap race, and then this happens.
What can I say?
You're enjoying the sun?
I've enjoyed better sunny days, but no, it's, yeah, it is what it is. I just go along and I just want to go racing, so it's okay.
Okay, all right, well, that's good. Does this change your strategy at all for the race? I mean, it's looking like the sun is coming out, so hopefully we're going to have a dry race for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of chaos out there today. That first lap was nuts, and but it's okay. It's what it is. I think the car is quick. Let's see what happens now, because they stopped the clock. It's the first time they do this when we have a red flag. So let's see what happens, and we're probably going to have to adjust ourselves for the energy, you know, how much we need to save and where. So the first few laps we need to, you know, get back into the groove, and then we'll go from there.
So I think you're currently sitting in P10, so you've got 1 point, yeah? But obviously you want to extend your championship lead, but obviously you need to stay out of the mess that might be in front of you.
Yeah, it's going to be a race about, you know, staying out of trouble. But yeah, definitely go try and get some points. I think we have a quick car. But like I said, it's going to be chaos, so we just have to stay out of that chaos, and then it's going to be okay.
Which is easier said than done. How do you stay out of the chaos if you want to compete at the top?
I have no idea.
Okay, is that the magic question? The man who's going to win this race will know the answer.
Ask me after.
All right. Okay. Thanks very much, Antonio. I hope you get back out on track soon.
We all do. would like to go racing again. Those fans would like to see some racing as well. But hopefully we're not too far away because of the fact that they're reordering the cars now. Gary Paffett, I think, will be the only retirement from the race after all of that shenanigans.
That's quite impressive when you consider the damage we have seen in these first laps. I think if you look at Antonio Felix da Costa, he's normally a lot more sort of genial than that. But he's in race mode. He's just like, just leave me alone. I'm in race mode. I just want to go racing.
Better restart soon or Oliver Rowland's going to fall asleep.
Most comfortable place in the world to seat your racing car. Slept there more than once.
Is the side of it comfortable?
Well,
surely that's carbon fibre.
You can have some padding on it.
Right, let's go down to Nikki. She's with Lucas di Grassi.
Now, Lucas, the last time we saw you out on track was in Sanya, where you left your car at the side of the racetrack. It was obviously a frustrating end, and you were hoping to come into this race to make amends for that. Do you think that can happen?
Well, we definitely had a good start. We qualified 15th. Just because it's Group 1, was a disaster this race, but I managed to get up to P11 now. So yeah, I think we're making good progress. Let's continue that and finish in points. And championship is long and it's going to be very tight.
I mean, the championship is long, correct, but this is now the midpoint of the season. We've talked about it a lot, that Formula E is one of the most competitive racing championships out there. We've had 6 winners in 6 different races. When is a driver going to start to take control of this championship? Could today be the day?
No, never, because the way the sporting regulations are set, the driver which is leading the championship has a very bad qualifying group normally, and that's why everybody is packed up. So if you manage to get good points to go into top 5, you qualify first, then you qualify bad, then you drop out of top 5, then you qualify good, you win a race, then you go back to top 5. So it's a circle, and nobody's gonna disappear in the championship, and between 6 and 8 drivers will be fighting for it in New York.
Between 6 or 8 drivers, that's a good number. In comparison, there are 22 drivers on the grid, so there will be a championship, sort of a couple of protagonists by the end, by the time we get to New York, don't you think?
Yeah, of course. It could be 6, could be 8, could be 10, maybe 12. I don't know. It could be maybe 22. It's just a guess. But the last years we only saw a 3-way battle or 2-way battle in the last final rounds, and this year we're going to see much more than that.
All right, thanks very much.
Lucas di Grassi there. They're having to repair the blocks at that corner as well.
What Lucas di Grassi's describing doesn't sound bad to me.
Yeah, he's just, yeah.
And if you can figure it out and you can be in the top 5 and get out and get into the Super Pole from the first group, you've got a massive advantage. So I think it sounds like a great thing to me.
Well, here's the results of the Fan Boost competition. Top 5 vote getters get an extra boost of power, including both Audi Sport drivers, and you heard from moments ago Antonio Felix da Costa, and the king of Fan Boost, who will crown the Belgian Stoffel van Dorn, is simply unbeatable in that fan popularity contest. Let's call it what it is.
I think some of the other drivers are getting a little upset with Stoffel that he keeps dominating Fan Boost, but yeah, it's fantastic. Fair play to him.
I mean, you move into the high school and you're elected prom king. I mean, how do you do that? Look at that crowd.
I barely went to school, Bob.
I bet you were prom king, though.
No.
Now let's go down to Nikki Shields, who has another interview, this time Eduardo Mortara.
Edo, how are you doing today? This is not what we thought we'd be doing right now, is it?
Well, it's been pretty much like this in the last races, so you know we have to expect red flags during Formula E races. Not sure actually what happened because the incidents happened behind me. Now we have to go again. So let's see.
It is quite unusual. I mean, we haven't had anywhere near as this. I think before coming into this season, we'd had 1 red flag, and now we've had quite a few. Do you think this is a pattern that's going to continue for the rest of the season? And why is that?
Well, statistically, I mean, we had 100% red flags like since the start of the season. So you have high chances, you know, to have like some more. Why? It's difficult to answer. I think that the cars may be a little bit wider.
Do you think it's because also the cars are more powerful as well, you know, driving at 250 kilowatts?
Probably. I mean, it's definitely probably a mix. Like you said, like more power. The cars are wider. It's also more difficult, let's say, to overtake during the race. So you need to take your chances at the beginning of the race, and maybe when you start from the back, you have to take some risks, maybe.
So do you think you would take more risks this season than you have in the past?
No, because in the end, our goal, in Venturi is to be constantly in the top 10. Whenever we are around the top 10, we're not really risking that much. At the moment, it paid off like really well for the first part of the season. We will see now on for the remaining of this race, let's say.
And what do you think of the track here? I mean, quite a few of the drivers put this down as one of their favourites. Would you agree?
Mega. I mean, it's a fantastic track. In the city centre of Rome, many people came actually today to support us. And for the racetrack, you've got pretty much everything, like slow corners, fast corners. It's going up and down. Even some jumps, so it's cool.
What does it feel like going over that jump? I mean, it's not something that you normally used to saying. Here they go flying over a bump, but how does it feel?
It's an unusual feeling, let's say, to jump with the car. So the first times you need to be a bit careful, but afterwards, you get used to it, and it's actually fine.
Fine or fun, or both?
Both, for sure.
Great, thanks very much. Good luck for the race.
Field out for one lap behind the safety car and restart. So at 3 minutes to go, so the plan is to go at 16:56, and so at 16:53 I want the cars in the back of the field to leave, complete one lap at speed, and then come back into the pit lane, then we'll restart the race.
Okay, so race restart.
You and I both talked about it at the top of the show, Jack. The potential for the championship standings to be turned on their head, the way things stand right now, is enormous. Of the top 10 drivers in points, 2 are running in the top 10 points-paying positions in the race. Robin Freitz is 8th in points, 5th on the racetrack. Andre Lauderer, 9th in the championship, and 1st in the serial. Everybody else is out of the points.
I don't think for long. There's going to be a drying line, which is going to increase the sort of the jeopardy. It's going to make it more difficult when you try to make a pass. You're going to be on the wet line. It's just going to ratchet it up even more if that's possible. The job that the drivers have got to do to stay between the walls and not make a mistake and go quickly. It's easy to stay at the wall when you're going slow.
So we are now just about less than 10 minutes away from the restart of this race. It looks as though they've sorted everybody into the correct order. There is Eduardo Mortara getting ready.
We're talking about going fast. There's a point available for fastest lap, and as tight as this championship fight is, that point might be very, very important at the end of the season, as many of those as you can gather. So with a drying track as well, the end of the race is when the track will be at its best to try and with that fight for the point for fastest lap. You've got to be in the top 10 as well. So I think that's a competition in itself. And when we're talking, 1 point between first and second in the championship, between third and seventh, or third and sixth rather, it's so tight. So you're looking for every single point you can get.
Maxi Günther. He's in the first half of the field.
He's looking for his race car.
He got lucky, didn't he?
Yeah.
To rip the nose off in turn 3, a really fast corner. Got away with it. Red flag, replaces the nose, and he's still in contention.
Roland's made up 4 places from his grid slot. Lopez has dropped back 9. I think that order is roughly correct. Certainly the top 10 is correct. From Lopez backwards, it gets a little bit different, but it's going to be roughly the case. 3 minutes until cars are released onto the track. The cars basically from Lopez back will be released onto the track. They do a racing lap at speed. How much at speed they do, we'll wait and see. But then they will come back into the pit lane, join the back of the pack, and then the race will restart with a lap behind the safety car. There's the Piazza Venezia.
This is race control for confirmation. When I say at speed, that is not at 50K. That is doing it post-haste so we can get this race back underway, and the energy levels will be similar to consistent. So I don't want anyone going slowly. I want everyone to go at a relatively fast clip, come back to pit lane so we can get this race going.
Yeah, so that's what we were just saying. There's the, Piazza Venezia. And then the big long street down to the Piazza Popolo.
The monument to Victor Emmanuel, the king who first united the various regions of Italy. There's Alex Lynn, new hire at Panasonic Jaguar to replace Nelson Piquet Jr. There's Sam Bird, Robin Freintz, Pascal Wehrlein, Oliver Turvey, Lucas de Grassi smiling.
Wow.
Well,
brutal.
No, just an observation.
You can't beat the Italian national anthem, though, can you? And Ewan McGregor on the grid, Flavio Briatore there as well. Sam Bird getting settled in. The Colosseum there on the back of his helmet. Felipe Massa getting his shoes dried. Very kind. And then when the race got underway, it was a decent start from Stoffel van Dorn to slot through into third place. Everybody fighting for position down into turn one. Big winner was Alexander Sims. He gained 4 places in that first corner. This is on board with Bird. A little bit of a nudge with Lopez. Couldn't quite get past at that point. Sims went straight in the wall. Got going again. There were great battles all the way throughout the order.
Lots of contact.
And then Maxi Gunter with a big slide after hitting the wall. His front wing came away. So he almost hit, so he sort of hit the wall twice. He hit the wall on the way in and then came back over to it. And then Sam Bird was hit by the other Dragon car of Jose Maria Lopez. After such a strong qualifying, the Dragons were really in the wars. That brought out the, well, that didn't bring out the red flag. There was a pile-up at the final corner that brought out the red flag, involving Jean-Eric Verne and Gary Paffett and a whole host of other drivers. And we are now just 3 minutes away from the restart of the race. In fact, in truth, the 10 or so back-marking cars are going to leave the pit lane in 15 seconds to get back out onto the track. High fives all around with the team. As they get ready to go again.
You've got to reset now as a driver. You've had all the commotion that's gone on. You prepared yourself earlier in the day. You've now got to do it again. Just block out all the things. Everybody coming up and talking to you, interviews with Nicky, that kind of stuff. Just block it all out. Get focused on this restart and what you're going to do. Because you've still got 42 minutes plus a lap. And you've got to be inch perfect. No mistakes allowed.
Again, all cars, you do not have to go at a red flag speed. I want you to go at a relatively quick pace to make this happen fast. Thank you.
Yeah, well, they're not, though, are they? I mean, they're doing a reasonable speed, but...
A little surprised race director Scott Elkins didn't say whether or not passing was allowed. I mean, they're going to be a disaster. They're going to sort them out at the end of the lap.
I think they've already put them in position, haven't they?
Yeah.
I would say they're already in position, so just get round there. And drivers are going to take maximum advantage, and the engineers are going to be saying, like, just don't go any quicker than you actually have to. Scott Elkins must feel like he's herding cats sometimes. But the drivers just go, always trying to push the limit. Go up on grip. I wonder if that's to do with the power delivery of the electric motor and the brake-by-wire system as well that decides how much rear braking.
I recommend grip 6, confirm, grip 6.
Cars have brake-by-wire systems. The front brakes are traditional hydraulic braking. The rear happens with it. The regeneration system of the electric motor reverses the car, puts energy back into the battery, and that's what stops the rear wheels. And it's a very clever system that balances back and front.
And that message from Bird will be passed to Robin Freintz, his teammate. Lotterer has Verne out there. Evans has Lynn out there. Buemi doesn't have Roland out there. So, for example, Nissan are going into this a little bit blind compared to the other teams who are getting an out lap. As Lopez keeps it out of the wall.
Is Lopez missing one of the strakes in the rear diffuser, the part between the rear wheels?
It's pretty much dry as well, isn't it?
Not there. We saw earlier in qualifying it was dry apart from that sort of area to run to return 13, and it was still incredibly slippery. Back into the pit lane to form up behind the pack. Look how tight this pit lane is. This pit lane was part of the race last year when they came in and did car swaps. It was pretty nerve-wracking for teams, drivers, and the FIA.
So we are about to go racing again, finally, after a long red flag period. The car's coming into the pit lane now to join up with the rest of the pack. Then they'll go out behind the safety car. One lap, I believe, behind the safety car. Safety car will come in. Racing, away we go.
Back to business.
Yeah.
Sun is peeking through again.
So here they come back into the pit lane. They'll join up with the back of this pack, and then the safety car at the front there will pull away.
Watch for, if you're coming around this corner as blind, you don't want to stack into the car in front of pit lane. That would be particularly embarrassing at this point.
And then we have another red flag.
Yeah, I think Scott Elkins might park you for the day if you did that one.
Right, so Verne pulling into his position, and the race is due to restart, and they might leave it another 30 seconds so that they can tick the clock exactly.
If we hear the radio at some point of Jean-Eric Verne, you can really tell how he's feeling.
Pit exit is green. Pit exit is green. We'll do one lap behind the safety car. One lap behind the safety car.
Okay, so that's interesting.
I'd be going down the attack mode activation zone and activating it before. That way you take away the negative of having to go offline. We'll go back to Verne.
Unless you're at the back.
Unless you're at the back. If you hear Jean-Eric is high-pitched, then that's generally starting to freak out a little bit. He doesn't do his best work. When he's calm on the radio, the rest of the field better look out, because that's when he's not unbeatable, but he's a reason he won the championship last year.
On board with Sam Bird.
Okay, so that was Jaguar saying we're not sure that Lotter is going to go through the attack mode activation zone.
Okay.
You might want to wait till the track's dry till you can put that extra 25 kilowatts of power down on the road.
So if Lotterer doesn't go for it, you go for it, surely. If you're in second place and you're Mitch Evans.
Yeah, it's essentially a free trip.
Depends if you feel you can pass him. You've got to use it to pass him, I would say, as well. That's
now, Lotterer doesn't do it.
Nobody's gone so far.
Interesting.
Van Dorn, no. Buemi,
Frantz.
no.
Frantz comes through.
And here we come. From fifth backwards.
Oliver Rowland. Felipe Massa.
So they're all going to arm their attack mode.
Not Maxi Gunter, he didn't do it. Da Costa didn't do it.
Okay, so we've got a nice little mix.
Nope.
Berlin and D'Ambrosio.
And Lotterer now will try and slow the field down, presumably when the safety car comes in order to nullify some of that attack mode. But at the same time, he can't be too far back from behind the safety car, because that's what Jean-Eric Verne got in trouble for last time in Sanya. Right, I think we're about to go racing again. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. The clock has started ticking, by the way.
And those blue arrowheads are chevrons to the left of your screen next to each individual driver. Count down the 4 minutes of attack mode extra power.
Now, Verne is getting cross on the radio because he thought that you weren't allowed to take the attack mode. He said that was the information he was given. But I don't see why you wouldn't, because it's just a safety car restart of the race.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you wouldn't be allowed to.
You see Lotterer slowing down. He's getting, you hear the pace car clearing off. The BMW i8 starting to sort of clear off. Lotterer's going to keep that gap somewhat sensible.
It's quite spread out, isn't it? Here comes Lotterer around the bus stop chicane. The safety car pulls in and Lotterer floors it. We're racing again at the Rome E-Prix after a long red flag period. Andre Lotterer leads, then it's Evans, then it's Van Dorn, then it's Buemi, then it's Frantz. Frantz is the first of the drivers in attack mode, so he gets an extra 12% of power.
See the difference in performance as he comes out of turn 6. I would say that's the first time we're really going to see them. Might have to feather the throttle down here just a little bit.
Here comes Frantz down into the left-hander of turn 5, onto the brakes, through the left. Not close enough to do anything there. Now it's a left-hander up the hill, as Dario was saying, through turn 6. He'll get up a little bit of air as they come fighting all the way up towards turn 9. One of the BMW Andretti's taking the attack mode too.
Slightly odd, I have to say, that far up. You'd hoped he'd have taken it the last lap.
Freins is right behind Buemi. Buemi is right behind Van Dorn. And they've got Oliver Rowland coming with them.
Just back off a little bit, Jack, as you approach the chicane. Try and get a run through the chicane, set up to overtake into turn 13. That's the theory, at least.
Freins and Buemi came together in Sanya. Freins is going to try the outside. Buemi will hang him out to dry and give Rowland the opportunity. Not going to get around the outside there, though.
Rowland on the switch back.
Trying to get through, not able to do it. Freins defending firmly. Lotter is still leading, 38 minutes plus a lap to go.
Your Freins, you're going to be looking in your mirrors, because Oliver Rowland has been very robust in his overtaking manoeuvres this season.
And his defensive manoeuvres as well.
And his defensive, yeah, he's been a great addition to the series.
Through they come to complete another lap. Lotter has the fastest lap of the race so far. That's what, and that's immediately taken actually by Felipe Massa. And then it's immediately taken by Eduardo Mortara, so it'll keep handing around in the opening laps of the race. Down the hill, towards turn 5 again. Jean-Eric Verne lying in 13th place. Here come Rowland and Freins again, under the Porsche tunnel.
Starting to really dry up at this point.
Now Freins has only got 30 seconds of attack mode remaining, so it hasn't actually become a huge amount of positivity for Freins as he comes flying over. Oh, Buemi's out of shape. Freins is up the inside. They're still side by side. Nice, clean racing. And Rowland's got an opportunity here to follow his teammate through. Lock up from Buemi, who holds the place. Freins is out of attack mode now. Alexander Sims has been given a 10-second stop-and-go time penalty. So not sure what that's for, but we'll get to the bottom of that one.
So a slight bit of lifting and coasting, even with the yellow flag laps. There's hardly any, if you compare it to last year, minimal lifting and coasting. That's when they lift off the throttle just a bit early to save a bit of energy. It means they can brake a little bit later because they approach the corner slower.
So Freins, Rowland, Massa, Mortara didn't take as much advantage as they would have liked of using the attack mode. Here's a look at Robin Freins going for the move. Oh, this was when he just went to the outside.
Just not enough grip to do it.
The closer move was over to turn 9, wasn't it?
You saw the front sliding of Robin Freins' car. Watch how much lock he puts in the middle of the corner. Just can't get the car rotated. And almost lost the position to Oliver Rowland on the next corner because Rowland tried to do the switchback.
That was Freins at the inside of Buemi.
That's a great move.
And that's lovely racing. They gave each other space. No one put anyone in the wall.
Which we didn't see from in Sanya with the incident with Lucas de Grassi. But de Grassi was taken out by their fighting. Buemi pushed into the back of Robin Freins in the braking zone, and they both took out Lucas de Grassi. Look at this jump! That is just phenomenal.
There's Mortara past Massa. Mortara up into 7th place, past his teammate.
Bit of blocking from the teammates.
Massa tries to fight back. Keeping an eye on all of that is Maxi Gunter behind. We're on board with Felipe Massa.
Massa is loving Formula E, the fact he can mix it up and he can race. He won't be loving getting passed by his teammate.
Usable energy remaining on the left-hand side. Mitch Evans has the most of the front runners.
And in front of you, we have more sock than Roland and Fringe.
That's Felipe Massa's team radio.
When was the last time we heard that Mitch Evans had better energy than those around him? This is looking good for the boys in the Jaguar.
29, no, the lap. Yeah, confirm, 29.
So they think there's 29 laps in this race, which seems about right for a 45-minute plus 1 lap race in a minute and a half.
With the yellow flag as well, you've got to take that into account. And they're doing that because of the system that tells them how much energy they can use. They've got to sort of change that depending on the number of laps.
34 minutes plus a lap to go.
Mitch Evans is just kind of stalking Andre Lotter, isn't he? Just figuring it out, not letting him get too far away.
And Bob can bring us up to date with Alexander Sims' penalty.
Yes, it's all as a result of the car failure he suffered in qualifying. Apparently, leading up to the race, they changed the E-motor, gearbox, and inverter on the car. Each one results in a 20 grid spot penalty, which has been converted into a 10-second stop and go to be served sometime in the balance of this race.
So Sims not having a happy afternoon. Look how close it is for the lead of the race.
Yeah.
Andre Lotterer ahead of Mitch Evans.
Mitch Evans has closed that gap. Yeah, with Sims this morning, when it took off from the jump, as it landed, it did some damage to something in the system, and they had to change everything because they weren't quite sure what had caused the problem. Mitch Evans has got to be feeling confident. There's that feeling as a driver when you're closing in on the leader, you're not on the complete limit, you're still with to close the gap. That's a really good feeling. The converse is Andre Lotterer looking in the mirrors thinking, oh, he's getting a bit close here. Just overdriving a little bit.
Mitch has got to be thinking about this race last year when he was so aggressive in the late laps and ran himself out of power.
There goes Buemi, there goes Freitz.
Oh, ready for launch.
Oliver Rowland.
Rowland didn't get that high, that was disappointing. The other two were great. What about Massa?
We'll never know.
Here come the race leaders. Andre Lotterer in the black and gold DS Techeetah up against Mitch Evans in the Jaguar.
Stoffel Van Dorn hanging on in 30s, using attack mode. Stoffel Van Dorn goes to the attack mode activation zone.
So he's now got some space behind. He'll try and put pressure on the two leaders.
Got to close the gap up, hasn't he?
These two had a great battle last season for the podium places. Did Andre Lotterer and Mitch Evans. It was going down into that right-hander there of turn 10 where they were all side by side. But the Jaguar's looking good.
The body language of the car looks phenomenal. You can see Mitch Evans is just turning in a little bit earlier so he can see what's going on. He doesn't get sort of blinded by the rear wing and diffuser of the DS Techeetah in front. Look how much he closes up under braking. Again, Mitch Evans is going to be feeling pretty good about what he's seeing.
Hasn't been a huge amount of performance from that Jaguar over the course of the season so far. The team always insistent that they had a good car. There was very little evidence to support that, but all of a sudden Evans qualifies on the front row and is now battling for the lead and looking like the quickest driver out there. Van Dorn's coming into the fight a little bit, but he is on the attack mode.
He overdid the chicane just a little bit, turn 16 through 19. He just lost a bit of ground jump in the curve. They caught Lopez out a little bit earlier in the race.
So Lotterer has been told that he's under-consuming. So that's positive news for Andre Lotterer, if that is the case. So that means he's using less energy than he needs to.
Yeah, go faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Lotterer's a wily old fox. He's been around a long time. He's driven all types of racing cars, and he's been quick at them all. So he knows that he knows how to win a race. He almost won in Hong Kong a couple of races ago. Him and Sam Bird got together last lap and it was taken away.
Lotterer leading as they come into the left-hander that brings them back down to Via Cristoforo Colombo.
When I say taken away, I'm sorry, Jack, I should say that Sam Bird got into the back of his car, punctured his tyre. That's
I thought you were just being a bit political.
No, no.
There's the Marconi obelisk as we come down on this fantastic view between the stone pine trees that are so iconic around Rome. On board with Mitch Evans in second place. La Nuvola Exhibition Centre on the right-hand side. Couple of goes turning in.
As he crossed the crown of the road, we saw it snapped the rear round a little bit, and Mitch had to correct.
So Van Dorn and Buemi have used up their... Oh no, Van Dorn's still got a couple of minutes to go. Buemi's attack mode has finished, so they haven't made a huge progress there. Something's happened to Daniel Abt. He's dropping down the order. We'll get to the bottom of that for you before too long. Those are the drivers that have fan boost still to use. Van Dorn, Buemi, Da Costa and De Grassi. Top three now coming back on. There is Abt. Has he locked up? It looks as though he's locked up there and gone straight on.
It's definitely a lock-up, Mark. I wonder if there's a... No, he has just locked up. Has he made a mistake? Was there an issue with the brake-by-wire system?
Where is he? Is he at the turn 1 or the bus stop? Or...
At 14, turn 14.
Yeah. Look how close it is for the lead. Lotterer ahead of Evans with Van Dorn coming with them. Looked as though Buemi was covering a little bit, but I didn't think France was close enough for an attack. He's not, so just taking a slightly different line. But we've got a fascinating battle for the lead of the race now with half an hour plus a lap to go. 2 attack modes remaining for Lotterer and Evans, 1 for pretty much everyone else. Lopez has been given a drive-through penalty for that incident with Sam Bird. Bird is down in 18th place, behind his old teammate Alex Lynn.
I wonder how they're feeling about Sam Bird's feeling about the car. Is it driving in a straight line? Is he being sort of handicapped by damage from those earlier incidents?
Van Dorn coming to the end of his attack mode now. 3, 2, 1. That's the end. Back to the regular 200 kilowatts of power as opposed to 225.
He's closed the gap up though.
Right there. But he's got 1 less than Lotterer and Evans, but he's close enough to them that if Evans were to take attack mode, I feel like Van Dorn would have a real chance of getting in front.
Give a shout out to Maxi Gunther, P8 at the moment.
Yeah.
In the Dragon car. It's quite impressive considering he crashed there.
What's happened to Mortara? Mortara looks to be out of his home race, the Italian-Swiss driver. I think he's stopped on track in the first sector, but we'll try and get to the bottom of what's happened to Edo as he was running up in 7th place.
Turn 6, Mitch Evans carried a little bit too much speed in, understeered to the apex and almost hit the wall on exit. Just watch that all day. I think we do need to have a distance marker for next season. And award a point for the person that flies the furthest.
Try getting that through the FIA sporting regulations.
Yeah, that might be a challenge.
2 more drivers from the top 10 of the championship have now joined the top 10 in the race. Antonio Felix da Costa now 9th, Jean-Eric Byrne 10th.
As we see the gap to Stoffel Van Dorn just sneaking out a little bit again. Mitch Evans continuing to push. Andre Lotterer just keep him under pressure. Here's what happened to Mortara.
Oh, grinding to a halt, and if that's a drive shaft failure, then, I mean, we don't know, but the Venturi powertrain has been struggling, and he's pulled straight off at turn 10.
The Venturi powertrain has been fast, though. They've had an issue with the drive shafts with both them and the HWA guys who run that same drivetrain. But it's been really quick. They've won a race, the Venturi team. Big progress from last season.
Nose to tail for the lead. Lotterer leading. Mitch Evans in 2nd place.
Mitch Evans is so tidy down the hill. He's just sort of ahead of the track a little bit. Lotterer looks like he's sort of a late turn in. The back's moving around a little bit more.
Lopez is serving his drive-through penalty.
You saw Mitch Evans hit the inside curb at 6. It knocked him a little bit wide. He just lost the acceleration off the corner.
Goes much wider, doesn't he, over the jump compared to Lotterer. Here they come into turn 9.
Oh, he closed up. There's a second bump over in the braking zone for 9. And Mitch Evans handled it ever so well.
He's putting Andre Lotterer under some serious pressure here, Mitch Evans.
Now, Lotterer, we've discussed it before, is one of the most robust defenders, if not the most robust in the championship. So Mitch gets a chance to have a move. He's going to have to make it count as he tries. No. Just serving notice, isn't he?
And what do you, if you're Mitch Evans, you know Lotterer is one of the most robust defenders. So how does that affect, does that make you more tentative? Does it make you a bit worried about going for a move?
Well, it makes you, when you're going for a move, you do it properly. You have to have a proper chance. There's no half moves with trying to pass Andre Lotterer. You make a half move, he's going to take the nose off your car or you're going to crash with him. You've got to get the overlap, get right alongside him into a braking zone. At turn, I think turn 9, turn 13 are your 2 main chances to make that happen. You're not really braking enough in turn 5 to I would say, to make that happen today. See the last lap comparison, almost identical, 9,000th of a second. Yellow flag at turn 14. Something gone straight on because there's no room to make a mistake.
Oh, it's Massa. It's Massa. The other Venturi has ground to a halt. What a shame for Felipe Massa. They were running 7th and 8th at one point, the 2 Venturis. And again, another reliability problem by the looks of things.
Now, is this a full course yellow to retrieve that car? Look how late Andre Lotterer turns into turn 9 in comparison to the 2nd place Jaguar of Mitch Evans.
Through they come now down towards the obelisk chicane again. Van Dorn's sticking with them, though. He's got a little bit more energy used up than Evans and Lotterer, but he is there or thereabouts.
2% up on Van Dorn.
That's Josep Roca.
Stop after turn 14.
Telling Mitch Evans that information. Van Dorn goes a bit wide. That costs him a few places. There's the yellow flag waving there at turn 14. Massa, I think, still is there on the inside as we continue with the Rome E-Prix, halted after a big red flag in the early part of the race, but we've still got 24 minutes plus a lap to go. Andre Lotterer leading the way, Mitch Evans second, Van Dorn third. Across the line to complete their 13th lap. Andre Lotterer ahead of Mitch Evans. They've both still got their attack mode to use. Now, you get the feeling if Evans didn't have Van Dorn behind, and actually because of that error from Van Dorn at the hairpin, he might have enough of a breathing space on this lap to go for it.
This might be the lap, Jack. The problem for Van Dorn is he's got to use extra energy now to close that gap again. Every mistake has got, every action's got a reaction to it. He's going to have to use it, and he didn't. We didn't see
Attention all teams,
Evans use it.
This is race control.
Guess what's coming.
Full course yellow in 5.
Full course yellow to clear Massa's car.
3, 2, 1. Full course yellow. Full course yellow.
Everybody has to slow down
car.
to 50 kilometers per hour. The clock will keep on ticking. And Lotterer looks like he's quite a way ahead there. That's Scott Elkins in the middle, and there is the relatively despondent face of Susie Wolff, the team principal.
Marshall's pushing Felipe Massa to a safe spot.
Yeah, I would have just pushed it back, but anyway.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same actually, Jack.
But if they want to do more exercise, go for it. And Da Costa has just lost out to Verne. Now, let's just enjoy this, shall we? Well, I want your marks out of 10. That's a 2 out of 10. That's no good, Lotterer.
Just not bad compression on landing. Mitch Evans out to the further to the right. His front wheels didn't really go off the ground. Sorry,
No.
Mitch. You're fast there, but you know, for pure performance, the shorter time they can spend on the ground, the faster the car goes.
So this is the full course yellow moment. That's why Verne is now in front of Da Costa. That's going to be another one for the stewards to get dealt with. Under braking for full course yellow, Verne has overtaken Antonio Felix Da Costa. We're aboard with Da Costa.
They've got a certain amount of time, haven't they, to slow to 50 kilometers an hour. It's who left it at the last moment and who overdid it between the two of them.
And actually, by the sounds of it...
Attention teams, this is race control. Full course yellow ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green flag, green flag.
Green flag, racing back underway after that brief full course yellow to clear Felipe Massa's Venturi. And we've got 21.5 minutes plus a lap of racing to go. There are the top three, Lotterer, Evans and Stoffel Van Dorn for the DS Techeetah, the Jaguar, and then the HWA team, respectively.
So Verne has just taken advantage of that full course yellow to make a pass.
Well, I think what happened was, by the sounds of it, Da Costa had to get off the throttle
for the car in front.
For the car in front, and so I don't think Verne overtook him. I think they were neck and neck, and then it sounded like Da Costa had to come off the throttle.
Great use of any opportunity. You've got to say.
Still half a second between the race leaders, both looking for their maiden Formula E victories.
Track is pretty much dry now. You're almost back to
My feet
dry
aren't,
pace.
though.
No, that's because you're wearing inappropriate footwear.
No, I know.
Jack.
I didn't believe there would be rain today, as we know. And it turns out I've got a hole in my shoe. So my right foot is absolutely drenched.
Rain is useful for that, finding holes in your shoe.
Yes, exactly.
This part is probably the one part of the track that's maybe not fully dry yet. And they're having to not tiptoe, but just take it slightly easy. That'll limit the performance for a couple of laps. But it's getting dry. I wonder if anybody went with the full wet setup on the car. Different springs you can use, you know, different toes, that kind of thing, to heat the tyres up. If you did that in the dry, it might overheat the tyre, but who would have gone with that decision? I'm not sure any of the front runners would, because the rain was forecast to go away.
And it was drying already at the start of the race, wasn't it?
See Van Dorn, 1.1 seconds behind. He's kind of, that gap is staying quite static at 1 second to Mitch Evans in the Jaguar. from Stoffel Van Dorn in the HWA. Stoffel Van Dorn went out as Eduardo Mortara did as well a couple of weeks ago. As we see Mitch Evans go through attack mode activation zone.
Okay, so here comes Mitch Evans. Stoffel Van Dorn has come up to the back of him, but Evans now will have extra power for the next 4 minutes.
And for these next 4 minutes, Mitch Evans has got to attack like this is qualifying. Get onto the back bumper, get on the back wing of Andre Lotterer and try and get back past and wrestle the race lead.
Maxi Gunter under investigation for overspeed under full course yellow. That would be a shame for him because he's running very well in 7th place. 4 chevrons next to Mitch Evans. That means 4 minutes of attack mode remaining. Can he take advantage of it?
We go back to Van Dorn. Mercedes ran their new powertrain for next season, the next Formula E powertrain for next season. Stoffel Van Dorn, Eduardo Mortara both drove the car in that inaugural test, and by all accounts it went very well.
That was an interesting penalty for Maxi Gunter because he was the car ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa when da Costa lifted and allowed Jean-Eric Vergne by.
Yeah, well, he's only under investigation at the moment, so it may be for later on in the lap as well. But here we go, on board with Mitch Evans.
Look at Mitch Evans attacking. And we see the map over to the right. You see which part of the track he's on as he heads now out of turn 2 down the hill. But Mitch Evans is leaving nothing on the table, trying to close the gap. They can take the race lead. Been under a lot of pressure at Jaguar. Nelson Piquet and Jaguar parted company after the race in China. But Alex Lynn in the car, they're trying to change things up. He's right there when he slid. Did he catch the wall? But
very close to it.
But they need Jaguar need a result. They've been setting the paces in the car. He's right there with him.
Evans is in attack mode is the message to Lotterer. If you hadn't figured that out already, Andre, here they come down towards the right-hander at turn 10. And Lotterer is starting to defend. Evans is going to get a good run here, but the chicane is not an overtaking place.
He's got to get a run out here, Jack. Get to the throttle early. He lost a little bit, but I watched with the extra 25 kilowatts of power. The gap will close. He's got to look over to the left. He dummies him a little bit. Tries one way, tries the other. It's not on.
He's still got 2 minutes to go. It's a 1.5 minute lap, so Evans just taking his time, not rushing it. On board with Andre Lotterer. Jean-Eric Vergne is under investigation as well for overtaking under full course yellow. Da Costa using his fan boost as we go on board with him onto the braking zone for turn 13, and no progress made. He tried to get past Maxi Gunter, couldn't pull it off. Across the line they come, 17 minutes plus a lap to go, and Evans, with 2 minutes left in his attack mode, is going to try and make the move. He's closer to Lotterer than he was at this point on the last lap. On the last lap, Evans was 3/10 quicker than Lotterer, and he's only 4/10 back. Lotterer's getting twitchy.
Evans is just backing off a little bit, Jack. He's got to get the run through this next corner. Get to the throttle a little bit earlier, and he's done a very good job of getting to the throttle. This is better than the lap before. He's got to time it now just after the jump. Get over to the left.
Lotterer covers the inside line. Evans goes to the outside. Oh, Lotterer squeezes and closes the door. Some more firm defending from Lotterer down towards turn 10.
You're not going to pass Lotterer around the outside. You're going to have to force him offline. He's almost there. He's got to go for it.
It's too far back. Surely there's contact, and Lotterer, is he in the wall? Evans is through. Evans is in the lead of the race. Where did Andre Lotterer end up? He's going to get overtaken here by Stoffel Van Dorn down into turn 13. Not quite. Lotterer managed to keep out of the wall, just about.
And if you watch Mitch Evans' fingers on the right hand, as soon as he passes him, he goes on the radio. He's probably saying, I didn't hit him. I didn't hit him. It's straight to the radio.
Jaguar in the lead of the Rome E-Prix. Lotterer second, Van Dorn third. Evans saw his opportunity, knew he had to take it, and absolutely seized it. And now he has run out of the attack mode. But Lotterer can't take his, because he'll get done by Van Dorn.
Perfect timing from Mitch Evans.
This is, for me, this is when Van Dorn should use his. But I'm not an engineer, or a racing driver, or an intelligent person in any sense. Down the hill they come, back down towards Luna Park, the amusement park on the right-hand side. There's the usable energy remaining. Evans has the most. Lotterer saying he has more energy than us.
It's very close if he does.
Let's pull a gap to Van Dorn behind was the message for Lotterer. It'll be easy because he's got less energy than us. So they want to get clear of Van Dorn in third place.
Same energy than Evans. Same energy than Evans.
in order to use the attack mode. Van Dorn has attack mode as well, and I don't think he's ever been able to use it because he keeps having to retire in the early stages. Here's a look at it again.
Fabulous move. He just got alongside and
oh, that's a well, good racing. He was quite far back.
Robot, well, he got a little sort of right there, but he didn't keep forcing him. He didn't push him into the wall.
Yeah.
And Lotterer played this part as well. And he wanted to survive. Sometimes when you do that to someone, they just give up and fire it in the wall. They both were sort of fighting to survive, and Evans, watch this again. Watch as he goes over to the left, and then Dummies cuts back tighter on exit. Very good move. This is where it gets a little dicey, just a little bit dicey. And look, watch his right hand, straight to the radio button. Wasn't me, I didn't do anything. Yeah, deep breath, James Bartley.
Oh man, that encapsulates our season thus far. Really hard racing.
Yeah, but that was not stupid racing. That was hard, fair racing. And we've seen some incidents where people just taking other guys out. There was none of that there.
Gunter given a 5-second time penalty for overspeeding under full course yellow. Lotterer, we think, is going to go for attack mode this time around. Indeed he does. Is he going to lose out to Van Dorn? Not quite. No.
Looks like he got some wheel spin, leaving the attack mode activation zone. You watch the back of the car. Now is he going to return the favour?
Yeah, that's going to be the question.
I don't think tyre wear is an issue in this track. The guys were saying that this track puts very little energy through the tyres, so the tyres should get better as the race goes on and not sort of wear out. There's Mitch Evans' dad watching on with interest.
I think interest is...
Mark Webber.
Not quite the word for it. Mark Webber watching on with interest as well. He's been looking after Mitch Evans for 11 years now, I think he said.
Yeah, he's really taken a big interest in Mitch, and he said, I'm just going to come and see what's going on and make sure everything's okay with Mitch.
Par, same. Water is on the same energy as you.
So that's Evans being told by Josep Roca that Lotterer's on the same. In terms of energy.
I wonder if they've told him at another point that he's got attack mode. I wonder if Mitch, because as you exit the corner, I'm not sure you're going to be looking all the way over to see if the guy behind you has gone through the attack mode zone or not.
Does he need to know, Evans?
I'd want to know. I definitely want to know.
Even if you're 8 tenths ahead?
Yeah, oh God, yeah. You can close it up in a hurry. If Lotterer decides he's going to attack over 3 or 4 corners, you could close. Look how much he's closed up there already. You could close that gap in a hurry if you need to. With that extra, we talked about. Look, Lotterer lost the back end at the apex of 6, and the gap has increased again. Go for the jump.
Race director from the contact with Lotterer. Be careful from now on.
Ah, interesting. So Evans has been given a warning for that overtake on Andre Lotterer.
You know what? That's fair. Just we've got our eye on you. That was the limit.
But he's taken the lead of the race.
No,
so either it's punishable or it's not punishable.
No, it's just that you know that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter anymore. He's in the lead.
I know, but what I'm saying is
no one else to
it just
overtake.
tells you. But if they have another incident, he'll be on the losing end, shall we say? Yeah, I think that's if I'm driving that car and they tell me that, I go, yeah, okay.
That's as far as you can go.
There was nothing wrong with it, but it was close, shall we say?
Yeah. Well,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure Lotterer is going to see it the same.
I think they've both been given the race director warning then. So they've both been given the race director warning.
I'm not sure Lotterer did anything wrong.
Agreed.
Well, in case he's thinking of revenge.
But again, I'm not the race director. I don't have to make these instant decisions, so thank goodness. That's a hard job. Van Dorn still hanging on in 3rd place in HWA.
Lotterer, fastest lap of the race last time away. 3 tenths of a second behind Mitch Evans, and now he is caught right up to the back of the Jaguar. Through they come, 1-2, under the bridge, and back up the hill. Lotterer, though, this is his last lap of attack mode, so he's got to get it done this time. They both have 1 attack mode remaining as well.
Quite closed up on the hill. Absolutely. Is he going to return the favour into the chicane or into turn 13? Oh, he's setting up for exactly the same move.
Evans holds it at the moment, but this time Lotterer is going to be close through the chicane. Out onto the straight. Here comes the pace from Lotterer. Evans will just cover the inside line into the hairpin. And I don't think Lotterer is going to have any chance of getting through. So after the first round of attack mode, if you will, it is very much advantage Mitch Evans. If I'm Lotterer, I think I'd take my next attack mode
pretty quick. We've only got 9 minutes plus a lap to go.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Fascinating duel. Fascinating strategic battle using the attack mode here on the streets of Rome. Mitch Evans versus Andre Lotterer. Stoffel van Dorn lying in 3rd place. And it's going to be a really interesting final 10 minutes or so.
Let's use attack mode again.
Lotterer saying...
So, confirm, use attack mode again.
So, Lotterer through the final corner, and he goes for attack mode again.
Jack, you do know what you're talking about.
What can I say? What can I say? Just to confirm that warning is they're not under investigation, Evans and Lotterer. They've said, yeah, fine, that happened, but just take it steady.
Now, these next 2-3 laps, these next 4 minutes are key to Andre Lotterer trying to win this race.
And now we're seeing Lucas de Grassi up the inside of Antonio Felix da Costa. Oh, and then lovely work from Jerome D'Ambrosio to take advantage of that.
Did he pass both of them?
He got him.
Not quite. Jerome D'Ambrosio's used both of his attack modes. Oliver Turvey the same. Alex Lynn. Tom Dillon. Was quite good running.
Yeah. Lock up to do it, but de Grassi can't.
Lucas de Grassi is one of, if not the best, racing driver in this series. Look at the air from Lotterer. That's at 225 kilowatts. That's fabulous.
Less than 8 minutes plus a lap to go. Andre Lotterer has used his attack mode again. He'll want to get on the back of... He's a long way back. I guess he did use his attack mode on the last lap, and that cost him about a second, so that makes sense, I suppose. But he'll want to get on the back of Evans, so that anytime Evans uses his attack mode, if Lotterer can't get past, he wants to be right behind him. So when Evans has to use his second attack mode...
Oh, Lotterer a bit wide, and Evans, I might think about it this lap.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds is the gap.
Yeah, I'd have a go. Did he use it?
Has he gone for it? Yes,
yeah, he has.
Mitch Evans uses his attack mode as well, so this is the chance for Lotterer, really, because he's going to get nice and close to the back of Evans.
Did Mitch Evans miss it?
He's not got his arrow.
Yes, he's missed it.
He's missed attack mode.
That has compromised him massively.
He missed it. He is not in attack mode. He missed it in graph to do it again.
And that is the message from Adrian Siegfried to Andre Lotterer, saying he missed it.
This is where Mitch Evans can't lose his mind. He's going to stay focused, regroup. He's got 6.5 minutes plus a lap.
But the problem is
he's got
now,
to use it.
Exactly. Apologies, it was Fabrice Roussel on the radio there to Andre Lotterer. But here's Evans. Here's the replay.
Let's see. So he gets, yeah, he's fine there. He's over the first bit. And he's over.
He's pulled out too soon.
To the right.
Fraction. I mean, what was that? 10 centimeters? 5 centimeters? That's the accuracy you have to have.
I paced out those sensors earlier in the weekend. All 3 of them are toward the end of the zone, not at the beginning. So it's really easy if you get offline to miss one of them.
This is where Lotterer keeps the pressure on, though.
Yeah, Evans is in a tricky position now. Very tricky position.
Certainly, I don't think I can use it just now, but once Lotterer uses his attack mode is gone, then he can start building the gap again and then use it. But yeah, right now you wouldn't want to go near the attack mode activation zone over to the left.
Lotterer's got less than a minute to go.
He's right there, Jack.
Oh, he's locked up. Gets it stopped.
Evans is trying to outlast him.
Look, watch for the switchback. He's going to try and return the favour.
Evans needs to get across to the inside. He does it well.
They've dropped Van Dorn. Yeah. 6 seconds back. Van Dorn's lost a lot of time in the last couple of corners. What is going on?
These two are in a class of their own. Down towards the hairpin they come. Lotterer on the outside there in the DS Techeetah.
Stoffel Van Dorn used attack mode. That's why he lost so much time. He's activated his second attack mode in the second sector of the lap.
Lotterer's running out of attack mode then. Same amount of usable energy remaining for both of them.
Remember, it's mandatory to use it twice, and Mortara got in trouble in our most recent race for not doing the second time.
God, Lotterer on the limit on the braking zone. Did he get the wall and exit? Yeah. Took the barriers.
Got
and he drove for Porsche too. Okay, Lotterer's out of attack mode. They're back to the same 200 kilowatts of power. Mitch Evans is now going to get his head down. Attack. That's going to allow him to take the attack mode activation zone in a lap or two and not lose the lead.
He needs some serious speed now, Mitch Evans. You don't have to have finished using the attack mode. You can take it on the last lap if you absolutely have to. He's done a good couple of corners, this Evans, although as I say that, Lotterer seems to close in again.
Well, this is the key point through the braking zone of 9. He's going to keep going. Lotterer closed a little bit in the brakes. In every one of these areas, he's just going to push the limit now. This is going to be the key to winning the race. Otherwise, we're going to see them coming up through turn 7, side by side, fighting for the Lotterer's made a mistake.
Meanwhile, Frijns and Buemi are 3 tenths apart for 4th place. In fact, I think Frijns has just made that move on Buemi. So Frijns up into 4th position, but we can't take our eyes off the leaders here.
Lotterer seems to be backing off. We're on the bubble. We can't keep on speeding, otherwise we'll extend the race for ourselves.
Ah, interesting. Because this is, if you look at Evans and Lotterer, they've got 11 and 12%. Roland has 15%. So they need to cross the timing line at the right time to do as minimal amount of laps as possible.
Because it's a timed race. We saw this in Mexico. The guys went faster than the other people thought. One more lap. They had to do one more lap. And the Nissans got caught out. So, yeah, you've got to back off the pace as well. So Mitch Evans, by missing the attack mode activation zone, is really...
Attack now.
Okay, he's really painted himself in a corner. Did he say, are you serious?
No, I think he says 8047. I think he gets...
Okay, here we go. This is it. This is key.
Nerves in the DS Techeetah garage. Evans goes for it. Lotterer accelerates out. Here he comes, the DS Techeetah car. Evans activates it this time around, and Lotterer is too far back.
We need to do what we can to block Lotterer and slow the race down. Slow the race down.
So now they need to slow the race down because they're going so fast they won't have enough energy to complete the race if they do it. But then I don't think anyone else will either.
How much do you have to slow it down? What do you want? Give me a number. Give me something to work with here. I need...
Slow down. Slow down.
Oh, goodness me.
This is a...
Oh. Wait, tell me how much. Try to lose 2 seconds this lap to be safe.
Oh, parks it on the apex of turn 13. That would have helped a little bit. Basically, he wants to get over the line with less than 1 minute 32
this is a big
on the clock,
Jack.
in the top left.
You've got to go so slow. You can't get past through this section. It's so tight. But you've got to really back it down. This is going to be close.
I think...
6. Okay, you guys can count as well as I can. Oh, it's going to be... Yeah, I think
they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it. So now, this is the penultimate lap of the race. Evans has done it. He's managed to save enough time.
Lotterer is worse on energy than you.
And Lotterer is worse on energy than you is the message to Evans. Gunther's now been given another penalty.
Is that enough?
Yes, that's enough because the last lap was 1 minute 35, so I would say that is definitely enough. The radio's not going to work too well under the bridge and at the furthest point from the track as well. All these buildings around.
Jean-Eric Verne has set the fastest lap of the race. That'll give him a point in the championship. With 50 minutes left on the clock. What could Lotterer do?
We're safe by 5 seconds.
We're safe by 5 seconds is the message to Mitch Evans.
Do as much as you can to slow down, to make sure we are in.
Yeah, no thanks.
You got 5 seconds, but just slow down anyway.
We're safe with Lotterer.
Got to keep focused this last lap and a bit. Got to stay. Can't get carried away. You can't be thinking about the celebrations. Think about doing the job, hitting your marks, hitting the braking spots, the apex, getting to the throttle, staying out of the wall.
Jaguar have not won a race in ABB FIA Formula E. And there's a lap
Runs out.
to go.
We're looking good. 10 seconds now, and you'll start the last lap.
Here he comes out of the final corner. It
5 seconds.
Clicks down to 0.
3, 2, 1. Time laps up, starting the +1 lap now.
Final lap of the race.
Final lap. Let's go for it.
Oh, Joseph Roca, that's not... You need to keep him chilled, don't you?
Well, you don't want Lothar getting too close either.
I think that's a sign of the pressure that Dario talked about earlier. We have a shot here.
Drive-through penalty for Jean-Eric Verne for overtaking under full course yellow. So that knocks the reigning champion out of the points.
There's a nervous father watching his son.
Lotter's only got 3%. He's going to be a bit tight to the end of the race.
We thought about 3 to 3.334% a lap was what they would probably use.
Lotter is on too. Got to be a bit careful. Gunther's not going to make it in 13th place. Robin Fries has done a great job to be 4th. Stoffel Van Dorn looks set to grab his first Formula E podium.
Yeah, he's 2.6 seconds ahead of Robin Fries in 4th.
Fries is only half a second.
Energy, so he'll just drop off. Bring it home, bring it home.
Bring it home is the message to Mitch Evans. His startling form has been one of the reasons that the Season 1 champion Nelson Piquet left the Jaguar team. Evans has, to a certain degree, shown him up over the last couple of years. The results haven't necessarily been there. He's never stood on a Formula E podium, had a 3rd classification once after a disqualification. So his first visit to the Formula E podium could be a very special one for him and for Jaguar. Mitch Evans through the final corner to win the Rome E-Prix for Jaguar. Lotterer across the line in 2nd.
Yes! Well done!
Victory for Mitch Evans, Lotterer 2nd, Van Dorn 3rd. Delight in the Jaguar Racing pit. There is so much pressure on that team, and they've now taken a victory finally.
Tire pressures, in-lap procedure, tire pressures.
Back to business.
I think the word was, there was so much pressure. Not so much anymore.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Mitch Evans, it's Dario up in the booth. Congratulations, that was a fabulous race. Jaguar's first Formula E win.
Thanks, mate. I'm honestly, I'm a bit speechless. It's been a tough couple of seasons, and this has been the clear target. So to reward everyone at JLR and Jaguar Racing is an absolute honour. So thank you so much.
Well done, you deserved that one. A fantastic drive.
I think we're going to have a very happy Mitch Evans. Lotterer 2nd, Stoffel Van Dorn with his first Formula E podium. Good, solid drive for Van Dorn, and an interesting one. There's so many interesting stories in all this.
Nissan 5th and 6th.
But that's what I find interesting, in that that's not good. Everybody's complaining about their dual motors and this and that. They've got the fastest car, some people say. 5th and 6th, 10 seconds off a Jaguar up at the front that didn't look very strong earlier in the season. I think that's not a great result for Nissan.
Not if you would believe everybody that's telling you all the stuff about the twin motor powertrain.
Jean-Eric Verne drive-through penalty was given. He didn't serve it, did he? So I think that'll be converted into a time penalty for overtaking under full course yellow. It hasn't been given yet. Then we've got Lucas Di Grassi finishing in 8th, 9th for Da Costa, 10th for D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio again scoring points from finishing last. Here's a look at, this is when Evans really tried to slow it down.
Got a little nudge.
It's interesting, we hear Mitch Evans on the radio all the time, and he always sounds so composed and so calm and so fit, but you heard him speaking with Dario, and he could barely catch his breath. I think there was so much relief, maybe a little emotion.
And of course, this means it's 7 winners from 7 races in the first 7 events. It's also 7 different teams as well.
And 7 different pole sitters.
7 different pole sitters, yeah. So, wow.
Anybody want to win an ABB Formula E race? We're running out of candidates.
Exactly. So HWA haven't won, Dragon haven't won, Neo haven't won, Nissan haven't won. That's it. Mitch Evans climbs out of the car and Stands on front of his Jaguar. And a superb victory. Superb stuff. Sorry if you heard the language in there, but naturally an elated Mitch Evans. And that is going to do his championship a world of good, to be honest, because he's 11th place, but that'll put him well up the order. As he takes off his helmet, the 24-year-old Aucklander, with a little chat with Lotterer. Fair race between them. The top two are back in Parc Fermé. Evans and Lotterer.
Trying to do the math in my head, which is always dangerous, but I think Mitch Evans will find himself in the top 3 or 4 in the championship. Look what Jean-Eric Vergne's victory in Sanya did for him.
There's the third place man, Stoffel Van Dorn. He's stopped on track with a broken drive shaft. With a broken drive shaft. And, well, he finished in third. He'll still be on the podium. But
I'll have to call the breakdown service to get there.
yeah. Well, as far as I'm aware, he'll still be classified in third place.
I think so. Now you see the crowds along the Via Cristoforo Colombo headed for that large grassy area that you saw at the upper left of your screen. That's where the podium is. That will be a very special one indeed.
First victory for Mitch Evans, I think, since the Red Bull Ring sprint race, feature race in GP2, which would have been back in June 2016 when he was driving for Campos Racing. Speechless, Mitch Evans. Better think of something to say, because Nicky's going to interview you in a second.
I think he's a little emotional too. Now talk with the boss.
Well, a tough race for Mitch Evans. Finding a way to overtake Lotterer, missing the attack mode activation zone. Fantastic stuff.
Now let's get down to Nicky Shields and hear from him.
Well, Mitch Evans, I mean, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? But you are grinning from it here. Well, your team boss, James Buckley, is one very happy man. Tell us how it feels.
I've got no words, to be honest. It's been a tough few years, you know, with the startup of Jaguar Racing, and it's been a long time coming, but honestly, it's so worth it. Everyone's worked their hearts out. I've been here since the start, so this feels really special, and to reward everyone with the first victory. But yeah, it was a great race. Congratulations to Andre, but the car was an absolute rocket ship today, so huge thanks to my boys for allowing me to be able to push to the end. So.
Talk us through that move using attack mode on Andre Lotterer to take the lead of the race, because that really was the perfect execution of attack mode.
Yeah, I mean, we all know Andre's pretty hard to pass, so I had to become a little bit creative. And to be honest, yeah, I wasn't really expecting to pass there, but he covered really, really a lot. So I thought, okay, let's try for an undercut, and made it move. So made it stick. I mean, it was close. We obviously made a lot of contact, but yeah, I mean, it was just, I think it was reasonably fair. I've not seen the replay, so I'm not sure how it all happened in terms of the aftermath. But after that, I should have put my head down. I missed the attack mode once, which made my life a lot harder, but we had a lot of, quite good pace, so I just put my head down and tried to wipe it from my mind.
Mitch, congratulations. Enjoy the celebrations. Andre Lotterer, yeah, Mitch was saying that it was very tight, but it was some great, good, clean racing.
Yeah, racing was good. Unfortunately, he won, but congrats to him. He drove a great race, and it was a nice battle. He was just quicker, nothing I could do. I tried to defend, and he just had these couple tenths in the pocket, and I couldn't fight him also on attack mode. So yeah, I need to look what happened. I think I was a bit high on tire pressures. At the beginning it was all good, and then I started to slide around a lot, so I was fighting. But yeah, too bad. I wanted to win, but gotta keep on pushing.
You didn't have any worries about his attack on you then?
No, it's Formula E, you know, there's a bit of rubbing is all right, and obviously I tried to defend, but he had his nose in and couldn't do anything. I had to block the corner before, and he got me.
This is a brilliant time. You know, it's a midpoint in the season for the team. You guys had a great points haul in Sanya, and now to add this podium, it's a real moment to celebrate.
Yeah, definitely. It's good points for the championship, obviously. I wanted to win. You know, I've been really working hard for this. So, but it's still a positive weekend, and got my first pole. So, yeah, bring on the next race.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Let's grab a quick word with Stoffel van Dorn. Stoffel, well done. First podium for the team. What a result.
Yeah, finally. I mean, it's a massively deserved result for everyone in the team, and obviously very happy to achieve this today. We've had really good race pace, which I was a bit surprised. That's been our weak point currently or lately in the previous races. So we've had a lot of bad luck in the first part of the season, and to come to Europe and be on the podium is very satisfying. So I'm happy.
It has been a bit of a torrid season so far. You know, you've had quite a few DNFs, but can you look at this as a massive positive and continue it for the rest of the season?
I hope we can. We've been learning a lot over the past couple of races. We've not always had luck on our side, and hopefully this is going to be a turning point. So we've showed in completely dry conditions that we are quick. We've had a good qualifying again. We managed it in the race today. Yeah, just a little scare after the finish with the car that broke down, but you know, that's how it is. We're on the podium today, and we're going to take that. So very happy.
Absolutely, enjoy those celebrations. Thanks very much, Stoffel van Dorn.
Well, properly happy group of podium finishers. Here's a look at the final results. Mitch Evans, first victory for driver and team, ABB Formula E. Good sport, Andre Lauderer said. I just opened the door and he got me. Stoffel van Dorn gets to the podium despite the car breaking down at the very end. Robin Freins in fourth, followed by Sebastian Buemi and Oliver Rowland in the two Nissans. Lucas de Grassi for Audi Sport, Jerome D'Ambrosio, Antonio Felix da Costa, and Pascal Wehrlein. The penalty for Jean-Eric Vergne was converted to a time that drops him to 14th in the overall results. Beautiful view down at the Coliseum. It looks even better at night when it's illuminated.
I thought the race would be finishing at night. But,
it looked that way for a while, didn't it?
The first Jaguar race since the Nürburgring at the 1991 World Sports Car Championship. David Brabham and Derek Warwick.
Here's a look at the Drivers' Championship points. Jerome D'Ambrosio, for the second time, moves to the top of the chart by 1 point over Antonio Felix da Costa, who leads Andre Lauderer by 2 points. And I was right, Mitch Evans made the top four. How does that happen?
So we've got the top 9 separated by 13 points.
Well, that's the way we like it.
Apart from Lucas de Grassi.
Yes. And in the team's championship, big day for Jaguar. But it's Diaz Techeetah who came so close, achingly close to lifting that prize last year, only to lose it to Audi. They are back at the top by 7 points over Envision Virgin, who were the leaders coming in, Mahindra Racing, who were in second coming into the weekend, and Audi Sport at Schaeffler, who remain in fourth over BMW i Andretti Motorsport, Venturi, Nissan, and again, points scored by every team in the championship here at the midway point. The amazing Victor Emmanuel Monument in downtown Rome.
Apparently, when they've finished it, they all had a celebratory meal inside that horse at the front.
I believe it was used by American GIs during World War II as a location for a little R&R.
So that was Stoffel van Dorn taking third place.
This celebration was premature for James Barkley and the Jaguar team during qualifying, but now it is official. Mitch Evans has broken through that glass ceiling for Panasonic Jaguar, and they are ABB Formula E winners.
Crucial patience.
Now let's get down to Vernon Kay.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, I'm here with the Envision Virgin boys. Sam, I hate to say it, but 2 disappointing race weekends in a row.
Yeah, three rubbish ones. Obviously, Hong Kong we won, but it was taken away. Sanya out first lap. I thought I was out first lap this time, but hats off to my team, doing an incredible job under the red flag to correct the rear end. Problem was drive shaft was broken. I then use energy to get back to the pit lane because the battery's using what it thinks is power, but I'm not going anywhere. So I was down on energy. I've got no rear diffuser. Car wasn't set up because of the issue, but we struggled back to 11th. We've had a puncture today. We've had another rear end change. It's just been full of drama.
I think we have to doff our caps, as it were, to your team, because the way that they changed the rear end was so impressive, so impressive. I think drinks should be on you tonight, Sam.
It was stunning. They're a top bunch of lads, and I'll be giving them all a pat on the back tonight.
And by the way, we should mention the logo on the top of your helmet.
Yeah, so little Flynn man, he did a really lovely drawing, and I thought, why not stick on the top of the helmet?
It was the face mask from Gladiator the movie, and seeing as we're Rome, why not put it on your helmet? First of all, a stark contrast, really. Robin, congratulations on 4th.
Thank you. It's good race.
Yes. What was it for you that was kind of the turning point throughout the whole of the race? Because the conditions dried up, did that make it easier?
Well, definitely not make it easier for everyone. At the beginning, obviously, it was raining, red flag. I was a bit worried that the race was flat out after red flag, but it wasn't the case. I tried to overtake Buemi on the attack mode, but it was very difficult with the Nissan engines they have. So, I just get my rhythm behind Sebastian and slowly catching up again. And then I was waiting for the undercut, really. So it worked out really well. The strategy played out really well with the team. So really happy to finish 4th.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Better luck next time out in Paris. Sam, congratulations, Robin. There you go. The boys from Envision Virgin. Guys in the commentary booth, back down to you.
Here's a look at some of the jumps. Mitch Evans and Andre Lotterer, but this was when there was a little jump there, but Lotterer it was who was really pushing hard.
Wow.
There goes Da Costa, De Grassi, Verne. Oh, that's a good one. There's De Grassi and Jerome D'Ambrosio.
Mitch Evans is the master of keeping all 4 wheels on the ground over the jump.
Wow, look how high the back of Jerome's car is up there. That's what you call sticking some rake in the car. Andrew Mather has got in touch using the hashtag RomeE-Prix, and he's suggesting that a Works Jaguar won a race in IMSA in mid-Ohio in 1992, an XJR 14. So he thinks that may be the last Works Jaguar victory.
One of Tom Walkinshaw's cars?
Possibly. I think Davy Jones.
Yes, that would definitely be
driving it.
The Walkinshaw Jags.
Potentially, that was the last Works victory for Jaguar. Maybe we need official confirmation, but now, whatever happens, it doesn't matter anymore. Today is the most recent victory for a Works Jaguar team. The drivers waiting for the podium. Van Dorn, good race, solid. That HWA and the Venturi powertrain isn't the best in the field. It broke down after the checker flag, but Van Dorn got it done. Both Venturis themselves dropping out, Massa and Mortara grinding to a halt. And Van Dorn's teammate Gary Paffett, in fact 3 retirements in the race, all Venturi powertrains, unfortunately.
All drive
not
shafts?
all, Paffett's was a crash, but yeah, the 2 Venturis, 1 HWA, the other HWA on the podium. Stunning podium.
It really is. I think this is my favorite of the season.
I have never heard the New Zealand national anthem. I've never commentated on the New Zealand national anthem played on the podium.
Well, congratulations. This is a big step forward.
I'm looking forward to it. I've commentated on New Zealand in hockey, field hockey at the Olympics where they played it, but Dario heard the New Zealand national anthem a lot, I believe. He was usually standing second to Scott Dixon, taking the win. Big day for Jaguar. On a weekend they needed a result. The pressure was huge. The pressure was building. They got rid of Nelson Piquet in order to be taken seriously, and Gerd Mauser, now the chairman of Panasonic Jaguar Racing, finds himself on the podium. That's the mayor, Virginia Raggi. Behind, Mario Moretti Polegato, the chairman and founder of GEOX, handing out the trophy for the winning constructor. We had a long delay with the red flag period, but it's been worth it. Stoffel van Dorn back on a podium for the first time since his GP2 days. Great to see him back because he has been a star in the junior categories. And now he's up onto the third step of the podium after the obligatory handshakes with Alejandro Agag and Alberto Longo. And everyone else. Second place once again for Andre Lotterer. Yet to take a victory, Lotterer. Angelo Sticchi Damiani handing out the trophy to Van Dorn.
Second runner-up finish for Andre Lotterer, I believe. He also has a third to account for his podiums.
His last second place coming in that historic Techeetah 1-2 in Chile last season. Here comes Lotterer. He was really, as you said, Bob, really cool about the racing with Mitch Evans. He beat me. He did a better job. He got the win. Really, really classy from Lotterer. Yeah, P2. Well done. But here we go. He's going to get the trophy first from the boss of ABB, Ulrich Spiesshofer, CEO to be precise. Second place trophy. And bringing him up into the championship hunt as well. The title fight is so tight, because now joining the party up at the front is the 24-year-old from Auckland, New Zealand, taking what is the biggest win of his career to date. He's won races in GP2, the Toyota Racing Series back in New Zealand, GP3, championship fights, and now he is on the top step of the podium in ABB Formula E. I don't know if this is a bigger day. I don't know if this is a bigger day for Jaguar or for Mitch Evans.
It's nice to see a popular victory.
Oh, he's a lovely boy. He's a lovely boy.
And nobody knows better about what Panasonic Jaguar has gone through as a team than the other teams up and down the pit lane.
Francesco Venturini, the CEO of NL, handing over the champagne to Mitch Evans. Just wait for your trophy. It's coming from the mayor of Rome, Virginia Raggi, a huge proponent of clean mobility, and she hands over the trophy to Mitch Evans on the top step. Victory for the Kiwi and for Jaguar on the streets of the Eternal City. And now we will hear the national anthem of New Zealand, followed by the British national anthem for Jaguar. day for both Jaguar and for Mitch Evans. Shame about the red flag in the race, of course, as we go for the traditional podium selfie. But when we got back underway, we got a nice, good motor race. For the second race in a row, we've just got to had a good motor race. And now the champagne is sprayed. Mitch Evans' first time standing on the Formula E podium, and he is standing on top of it. The tricolor of the Italian flag flies in ticker tape into the sky as the sun begins to set in the Eternal City, and a wait that felt like an eternity for Jaguar has finally ended with victory on the streets of Rome. Mitch Evans now well in championship contention. Lotterer now in championship contention, but they'll all be out in the horrible Group 1 come Paris in 2 weeks' time.
And we'll hear about it.
Yeah, from the streets of Rome to the streets of Paris. Could Formula E be any cooler?
I mean, it's phenomenal. It's unbelievable. The intensity, the variety.
7 winners in 7 races from 7 different teams, from 7 different pole sitters, and in fact quite often we've not seen the pole sitter take the win. I think only on one occasion in Mexico City has the pole sitter taken the... No, sorry, Da Costa did as well, didn't he? But the competition is absolutely incredible. Nicky Shields is down with the championship leader, who I think will be surprised that he's the championship leader after an incredibly busy race.
Well, we're here outside the Mahindra garage with Jerome D'Ambrosio, who is now our current driver championship leader. The tables are slightly reversed. You are now 1 point ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa.
Yeah, I mean, it's super tight out there, you know. It's the way this stroke of qualifying is happening, you know, with us always being in Group 1, you can be lucky if you just score 4 or 5 points in the race. It's a bit of a joke because, you know, we all work really hard and we have a good pace, and then, you know, it's not really fair, but anyway, it's a good thing. But again, you know, it's kind of the guy that's going to come into P6 in the championship in New York might have a massive advantage in qualifying, and it's so tight out there that it's a bit tricky. It's it's good to be leading, don't get me wrong, but yeah, you want more as a race driver, and when you work hard and you've got the pace that we had today, you should be fighting for the podium and not for recovery. We recover, but I think that it's about time that the championship starts looking at the rules.
Well, an unhappy championship leader to a delighted winning driver and team. I get where the drivers are coming from with the complaints about the fairness and stuff, but don't think I care.
Well, let's dwell on the day with the highlights.
Alex Lynn had to start from the back of the grid for the Rome E-Prix. Sam Bird was starting towards the back of the order as well after a difficult qualifying session, having been out in Group 1. The track was damp, and that would cause a bit of a challenge. Lucas Di Grassi had time for a selfie or two. Gary Paffett was smiling there. He wouldn't be smiling a lap into the race. The Italian national anthem played. The Air Force in full swing. Ewan McGregor with a different kind of force. Sam Bird with the Colosseum on the back of his helmet, hoping that would be a good day for him. The race got underway in the damp conditions. It was a pretty decent start from most of the field. The big loser, Jose Maria Lopez, sliding off down at the first corner. Sam Bird having a bit of a battle. Lopez would go on for a rather incident-filled opening lap. Crunch as Daniel Abt went into the back of the car in front. Alexander Sims crashed initially out, but managed to get going again. Lopez then hit Sam Bird, but not after Maxi Gunther had lost the control of the car and had a big slide, hitting the wall once, and then sliding back across and just keeping it out the second time. Then Bird was on the outside. He went around the outside of Lopez, but Lopez kept his nose in it and sent Bird into the barriers. The stewards decided that was worthy of a drive-through penalty for Jose Maria Lopez. It looked to have ended Bird's race. But then Lopez caused a red flag. A massive pile-up. And when racing got going again, Bird was able to rejoin. Freitz around the outside of Buemi didn't work out, but he ended up having a pretty strong race, did Robin Freitz. Edo Mortara slowed down and retired from the race in his Venturi. Felipe Massa would do the same just a couple of corners later. There were fantastic fights throughout the field. Turvey ended up slipping down the order and finishing in 13th place. Mitch Evans and Andre Lotterer were dueling it out for the lead. Evans got the overlap coming into the obelisk chicane, and a bit of rubbing, but the move was made. How Lotterer didn't end up in the wall, I don't know. Crunch one way, crunch the other, but the Jaguar was in front. Lotterer tried to fight back. Evans missed his attack mode activation zone on one lap. But try as he might, the German could not find a way through. Evans had to slow down to try and make the race last as shortly as possible. That led to a little bit of a nudge, but in the closing stages he started to pull clear. With more usable energy than Lotterer, it was a comfortable final lap or so for the Kiwi to come out of the final corner, take the checkered flag and win the Rome E-Prix. Delight for James Barkley, delight for Mitch Evans, delight for the Jaguar team. A win for, a first win for both of them in ABB FIA Formula E. Superb performance from Evans, spraying the champagne on the podium after another thrilling race in Rome.
Those are fantastic scenes.
So let's take another look at the results of today's GEOX Rome E-Prix. Mitch Evans, first victory for driver and team. Andre Lotterer matches his best performance in Formula E. Stoffel Van Doren reaches the podium for the young HWA Race Lab team. Robin Freitz, Sebastian Buemi, and the rest. With that, let's go down to Vernon Kay.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, what a race. What scenes, great scenes on the podium. Congratulations to Mitch Evans. It's been a long time coming, Nikki.
It really has. I mean, we talked about it, you know, who was going to be lucky number 7? Were we going to see another winner? And we have. I mean, incredible to see Mitch Evans win. Also, you know, the fact that we've seen some of the guys and girls pouring out of the garage here in tears.
Yeah,
they really have been crying. This means so much to them. They've put so much blood, sweat and tears into it over the last couple of years. This race means everything to them.
Why is Formula E so competitive? Our 7th race and our 7th winner.
I know. Well, obviously, we've had a lot of complaints from the drivers about the way that the qualifying groups are set up. So I think that's one of the reasons. Also, let's keep in mind the Gen 2 cars are very much homologated. These cars are here so that the drivers are on a level playing field when it comes to the technology and the machines that they're racing in. But who knows?
It's so good.
One of them is going to take control
Well, we'll find
soon.
out what happens in the next race in Paris. Will we have our 8th winner in our 8th race? You'll have to join us in the most romantic city in the world, in Paris, on the 27th of May. But for now, from Rome, the eternal city, we bid you farewell. Arrivederci.